The song was Indiana Wants Me, but I can't get back there. That's not true today, as Michael Jackson would later sing from Gary, Indiana, going back to Indiana. We are, along with Kennesaw State, right here on FS1. Their version of the white terrible towel here in Indiana, still buzzing over an historic season for Curt Cignetti in year number 1. This will be the second of 4 consecutive home games as the Hoosiers prepare to make their way out before yet another capacity crowd. And the one-time Nick Saban assistant who did such a remarkable job at James Madison, brought so many transfer portal players in from a season ago, holds on to a number of them, and here come the homespun Indiana Hoosiers. Yeah, the place is abuzz, and my partner here, lovely in lavender, old number 98, the one and only Devin Gardner. Josh Sims, you'll hear from shortly. I'm Tim Brando. Look, we touched on what Indiana did a year ago. A lot of those guys are back, but they've got a brand new quarterback.
Of course, and when you're coming off the best season in school history, there are a lot of expectations, especially from the man at the helm, Fernando Mendoza. I want to take a look back at what the tape says from his first outing with Indiana a week ago. Firstly, he's a guy who is still figuring out the offense, understanding which footwork goes with which throws. And then when he figures it out, I'm just telling you, he throws a really catchable football. And then an element that they didn't have a year ago, his ability to make plays with his legs off schedule. That's something that he has this season that's going to help Indiana. And I'm just telling you, they rushed for 300 yards a week ago. It's going to be Fernando and his arm that's going to make sure this game's won.
Kennesaw State is no slouch. Ask Wake Forest. They should have beaten them a week ago. Without the kicking game, they would have done that. But let's talk about the puberty program that's only 12 years old. I mean, they are basically just cutting their teeth at the Division I level. And right now, they've got a quarterback that I know you think could make a difference with Indiana roots.
And I'm just telling you, on offense, Kennesaw State wants to go fast. I mean, Tim, they want to go so fast that they make fast teams look unfast, and you need a signal caller like Dexter Williams who makes quick decisions. Take a look at this play that shows kind of his skill set. The ability to get on the outside. You're going to have an unblocked defender that tries to stop you, right? Eliminate him and then flip our hips and drive the ball perfectly down the field. When you have a skill set such as that, I'm just telling you, the other team knows about it, and you can make big plays. However, you've got to be consistent with the little plays and then put your cape on when you're asked.
You can bet he's got some butterflies because he was a backup here at Indiana for a long time. But now he's got his chance to beat a man. But to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Next. It's a perfect day for football, and it's cool enough that Josh will not soil his brand new suit. Let's go down to Josh Sims right now.
Well, Timmy B, the last time Dexter Williams was here at Indiana, he was riding high as the starting quarterback for the Hoosiers, but on this very field suffered a gruesome knee injury since transferred out of the program, a brief stint at Georgia Southern, and now returns as the head quarterback for Kennesaw State. I spoke to him about the homecoming this week. He said he's got to treat it like another game. At the same time, highly motivated to prove everything he learned since then. And if he makes a big play, you better believe the crowd is going to know about it out here today, Timmy B.
Indeed. Kennesaw State won the toss, deferred, so the Hoosiers will receive. That is the freshman, Danielle Kenning, that will handle the field goal kicking as well as the kickoffs. Britton Williams, the senior, had difficulty last week. They were in a heated battle, but Daniel was injured and is now healthy and ready to go, so he'll handle the chores this week. And the opening kick comes down to Roman Hemby. He'll let it go through the end zone for the touchback, and the Hoosiers will start at the 25-yard line. And Fernando Mendoza, the redshirt junior out of Miami, who played so well at Cal a year ago for Coach Wilcox, and when you think about it, engineered a number of comeback victories. I think one of the things we can watch for is the ball getting out a little quicker this week than perhaps it did last week. And that's one of the, I think, concerns that Kennesaw State may have, Devin, defensively in this game, because they know Indiana wants to establish their passing game early.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza a week ago, it was like the tale of two halves. In the first half, not very efficient, kind of frantic, and then he started to settle in that second half, and then the coaches said he had a great week of practice. Let's see if it continues.
Himby, the Maryland transfer, had a big afternoon running the football last week against Old Dominion. He takes it off the left side, runs right into the corner. Caleb Alford, the senior, out of South Haven, Mississippi, to make the stop. It's outside the Memphis area, across the state line where he's from. Himby is a go-getter. He is a home run hitter once he gets to the second level. Had the most rushing touchdowns for any freshman at Maryland in his first year. Here he goes again, this time over the right side. And it'll be third down, and we'll call it a long 3, maybe 4. Tyler Dunlap, number 5, the defensive tackle, made the stop. This is a stout defensive front. Rod Daniels and Marcus Patterson, the 2 rush ends. They can put some pressure on, but they have to keep their lanes against Mendoza because he can get away. There's the defensive coordinator, Mark Mattioli. Interesting staff, particularly when you look at their resumes for Coach Mack. On the sidelines, this one is incomplete. Elijah Surratt was the intended receiver. A lot of jousting going on, but the officials let it take place. A lot of the fans are rumbling a little bit. They felt that Alford may have gotten a hold of Surratt and held on for too long.
And Tim, when you have a man-to-man situation, when you are the quarterback, you think, what is my best matchup? And last week, Elijah Surratt just didn't get enough targets, especially early in the game. You can see an opportunity here, maybe a bit of a tug, but I love the jousting back and forth and the referee setting the tone early that they're going to allow them to play.
Here's the boot, going to be taken by Benyard. Gabriel Benyard, one of the twins known as the Benyards, with a 50-yard punt taken for a 7-yard return. And that was Quinn Warren that handled the punting chores to open this game. Mitch McCarthy, the normal punter, unable to go this week. So Quinn is going to handle it. As you look at Dexter Williams on that Indiana roster, as Josh touched on, that season-ending injury that led him to Kennesaw State by way of Georgia Southern in beautiful Eagle Creek. The great programs of FCS fame that Irk Russell was once coach of, and brought in the championship quarterback Tracy Ham back in the 80s.
Referees had to come in and re-spot the ball, so they have to move the chains so Dexter Williams can start going.
Boy, it is great to see this school so into football here in Bloomington. We were here last year for the Yoke and Bucket game in the snow when they secured their spot in the college football playoff in year 1 for Zignetti. Coleman Bennett is in the backfield, and he'll take it. Watch out, he's shifty, and he is very fast. And don't blink between plays, because as you said, they play ultra fast.
Tim, down on the field, those offensive linemen are big guys, right? So these are guys that are going to be able to lean on the Indiana defense, and their runner has great contact balance.
Second down and a yard to go. I don't think he got there. I think he's stoned right at the line of scrimmage this time. Tyreek Tucker, number 95, who along with Makai Kamara, along with Kellen Wyatt, stud linebacker, and Wheeler, the defensive end, all difference makers.
When you want to play defense in these short yardage situations for the defensive line, you have to create a new line of scrimmage. And what I mean by that is you have to play in the backfield of the defense. And if I'm the quarterback, if I'm the coach, I'm going to make sure that my quarterback has an opportunity here.
That's Davis Bryson, who lined up at the quarterback spot, number 9. Indiana was ready for that. Aiden Fisher, who is their leader, he's the green dot at middle linebacker, along with Elijah Hardy, number 21, the weak side linebacker, collaborated on the tackle.
And Tim, I don't love the call. I was getting into getting your quarterback involved because with your quarterback as a runner, you have that extra blocker. But you still have the threat of the pass. And if this defense sees that there's no real threat of the pass, they haven't seen it, they're going to put everybody in the box, and they just have more hats, and you're not going to be able to be successful in those short yardage situations.
Yeah, they got a little cute that time, didn't they? Joshua Hewitt will punt it away. Soccer style, moving over, gets it end over end. Jonathan Brady takes it on the fair catch right at the 20-yard line. 40-yard boot, no return. Just underway. 3 and outs for both. We'll be right back. There's 44-year-old Jerry Mack, a Memphis native. Now the new head coach taking over for Brian Bohannon back in 24. He was a running backs coach for Jacksonville. This guy's been everywhere. Was at Tennessee. This is basically a Tennessee offense that he runs prior to his NFL stint, and was recommended and tutored by the likes of Jim Caldwell of NFL fame with the Colts, and also David Shaw, the outstanding coach at Stanford. And boy, when you've got that kind of credibility, guys like Shaw in your corner, it's going to help you get your career going. And the former wide receiver at Arkansas State and Jackson State in his collegiate days. Kalon Black carries it out, runs into Alford again, gets it to the 25-yard line. So a gain of 5.
That's really encouraging to see Alford come out of his secondary position as a cornerback and get in there and fit kind of like a linebacker, right? They go to a cover 2, which is a coverage where the corner becomes a run force player, and he has to make those tackles. A nice job by Alford.
They gave him 6, so it's 2nd down and 4. Mendoza goes to the second option. That's a beautiful pass to E.J. Williams. Wrapped up immediately. The redshirt senior from Phoenix City, Alabama. Jericho Washington, number 1, got him. And as they say in the old line of football, they played to the echo of the whistle here.
When you get retreat covers, the only thing you have to worry about is the underneath defender, and a great job by Mendoza to navigate that throw up and over into the hands of his wide receiver. An outstanding job to catch that ball up with your hands for E.J. Williams Jr.
So a gain of 14. First pass completion for Mendoza. Now from the 44. There's a slant, incomplete. Thrown a little behind Elijah Surratt, the senior from Stafford, Virginia. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And that's not something you want to see early in the game for Mendoza as far as the pressure that's put on him. You don't want to see him under duress early, and that ball is a little bit behind Surratt because of the pressure that he experienced.
Black remains the setback. 3 wide receiver set, a single tight end. 3-man front. And they'll give you some 4-man looks, but a lot of 3-man front as well. That's their base defense. And an out pattern that's a beauty. Surratt this time with no problem. Great ball placement that time. Surratt leads the country with receptions in 39 consecutive games, make it 40 after that catch.
That's a nice job by the offensive line, picking up the blitzer right in the middle. He's trying to get to the quarterback. Running back fits him up, and now you can have a clean pocket, and Surratt is open on the outside. A good start for Mendoza, playing on time, getting the ball out accurately to his wide receivers.
That was a gain of 13, piercing Owls territory at the 48. Little curl to Cooper. Omar Cooper. Omar down the sidelines and run out by Alexander Ford inside the 10 at the 8.
At home, this is man-to-man coverage, right? So if you throw this throw and it's on time and the first guy doesn't make the tackle, it's going to be a big play. You can see right there, Cooper finds a way to get around, and it's a big play. Let me explain a little bit more what I mean on time for Mendoza. Certain footwork lines up with certain route combinations. Certain footwork, certain route combinations. And when you're on time, you get opportunities for run after catch just like that.
40-yard gain sets him up. Hemby. And the Owls were ready for that one. They're strong up front. You're going to be very impressed with Adam Watkins, the nose tackle, big number 97. Look at those red zone woes that they had a week ago. That was a point of emphasis all week long for Kurt Cignetti and offensive coordinator Mike Shanahan.
Yeah, just 2 touchdowns and 7 drives that into the red zone. That's not what you want. However, it's even worse sometimes because they were down inside the 5 a lot of times.
Empty set underneath to Surratt. And he got that nose of the football near the 1. Watkins again with the tackle. Youngster out of Dacula, Georgia. 21 stops in 12 games a season ago. He's a big-time talent.
I love the emphasis to get their talented receiver, Elijah Surratt, involved in the game. A week ago, he was a great teammate. After being an all-Big Ten performer a week ago, he just didn't have the impact that he could have had, and they're making it an emphasis on getting him the football.
Little power eye look. How about that? Riley Nowakowski goes old school into the end zone. Line the tight end into an H-back position. Well, that'll make Lee Corso happy. Man, I know he's watching this one.
Yes, Riley Nowakowski. He's a guy that came from Wisconsin, and doesn't this look like a Wisconsin-type run?
Yes,
just barrel your way in, run over two guys to get in the end zone.
That's his second career touchdown for Nowakowski, his first this season. Nico Radicic for the extra point. Oh, power eye look. Hey, Mallory would have even liked that. Bill Mallory would have dug that along with Lee. Indiana's had its fair share of success behind some outstanding coaches, going all the way back to John Punt in 1967. It's 7-0. The NFL regular season kicks off on Fox tomorrow. The Giants take on the reigning offensive rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels, and the Commanders, or the Niners, take on the Seahawks. Other regional action available to you tomorrow on Fox. I like Sean Payton's Broncos this year over in the AFC. Look at that scoring drive. 8 plays, 81 yards, 333, and the Nowakowski 1-yard touchdown run out of the old power eyes, they used to call it back in the day.
And we talked to head coach Jerry Mack for Kennesaw State. The emphasis was on playing a lot of guys to make sure that you stay fresh. Staying on the field for 8 straight plays and your offense going 3 and out, that is not what you want. You do not want 3 and out when you have an offense that goes really fast, because that puts a lot of stress on your defense. So it's on, the onus is on the offense to make sure they sustain a drive to give their defense a blow.
Brendan Frankie is preparing to kick it away for the Hoosiers. Cody Jones is back deep in single safety, awaiting it. Talking with Jerry Mack before the game down on the field, he felt they needed a good start. Well, this is going to be their second series, and now they find themselves behind, so it's incumbent upon them to have something positive take place, move the chains at least a couple of times. 15 miles outside of Atlanta, founded in '63. They've got over 50,000 students, and I remember when they began the program, because of a very close relationship that I had with a man from Georgia. We'll be telling you a little bit about that as the game progresses, maybe even as this drive progresses. Vince Dooley, Hall of Fame coach of Georgia. They play so fast. We'll get that story in when the opportunity presents itself. But I talked with his wife, Barbara Dooley, a little before game time. Vince passed away back in 2018. She's very proud of what he was able to do for them. Alexander Diggs on the receiving end this time out of the backfield, but D'Angelo Pons, who is all everything. Second team All-America coming into the 25 season, preseason All-America.
Yeah, the All-Big Ten performer from a year ago. He registers it right away and makes the play. If you're the wide receiver, you got to make sure you block the most dangerous man. MDM, he doesn't do it there, and Pond makes him play.
You know, Old Dominion went at him a lot last week. That was almost picked off. That errant pass could have been taken in for 6 by Amari Farrell, number 1, as he was trying to get it out on time. Dexter Williams lives to fight another day, but that could have been going back for 6. 3rd down and 11. Fans are smelling it early. A week ago, Old Dominion scored on the first play from scrimmage, and they were fighting a little bit from behind. Much different start to today's game.
Got soft coverage over the slot.
Diggs, nothing doing. Tyreek Tucker, number 95. One of those James Madison guys. Played for them in 22 and 23.
It's a nice job by Tucker. They go here, and he comes around to make the play. And when you stunt like this in the run game, it allows you to get to those runners, and the offensive line can't really target who they're going to block. An outstanding call and a nice job by the defense, led by defensive coordinator Brian Haynes.
Joshua Hewitt once again in to punt the ball away. Jonathan Brady awaits around his own 40-yard line. So the first 2 series for Kennesaw State, 5 yards, and this one is blocked. More deflected than anything else, and they're getting a positive roll out of this. Very fortunate. Now, that ball could have been blocked and going back towards the end zone. Instead, it's a 26-yard positive boot. Clay Connor, number 36, came through there to get his hand right on the leather. Take a look. This was a fortuitous bounce forward, though.
Yeah, he just beats the blockers all the way to the punter, and a nice job of getting his body out of the way and getting his arms on the football. Doesn't completely block it, but the tip is good enough. You're going to have great field position for the Indiana offense.
You know, coming from the angle that he was coming from, had he laid out, he might have committed a penalty, provided he missed the ball. But that was a very athletic move on his part. Lee Beebe Jr. checks in. They'll use 3 of them, Hemby, Black, and Beebe. He's in the backfield now for Mendoza. And here he goes. Hoosiers shooting everything, including BB's now. Isaac Paul, number 9, the strong safety with the tackle.
Take a look here at Drew Evans. Do a nice job of getting to the second level. He goes and he covers up that linebacker, and his size alone stops the linebacker from even getting anywhere near the runner. And those open cavities are going to allow this Indiana offense to continue to pick up nice gains on the ground.
I'd say Shanahan likes what he's seeing right now in terms of just the pace of this game, the tempo of it, the confidence that Mendoza seemingly has. He is a different kind of quarterback than Rourke when you think about it, and this offensive line has really played well for him, anchored by Pat Coogan, the transfer from Notre Dame.
Yes, last week it was a trend that they weren't able to get to the second level, and a lot of it was that ODU did a lot of things they didn't expect, and it's a positive thing to see them getting to the second level so early in this football game.
2nd down and 6. Maybe again, he's going to stop. He stopped a yard, maybe more, 1.5 yards shy, gain of 5 on the play. We'll call it 3rd down and a long one coming up. Jackson Cooper, big freshman out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with the stop. Played at the IMG Academy. Had a remarkable career there. 60 tackles and 6 sacks in his sophomore season alone at IMG. They're going to call it a short 2. On 3rd down. Beebe gets ahead for the 1st down.
Lee Beebe is a runner that they are really excited about. Obviously, he had an early fumble in the game a week ago, but they are so impressed by what they've seen from him. He was a walk-on wide receiver at UAB, and now he's one of the talented runners for the Indiana Hoosiers.
Kennesaw State defensive coordinator Mark Mattioli was actually a coach in Paris, France, and prior to that in Italy. Spent 7 years there before making his way back to the States.
The ruling on the field was a 1st down. That ruling is under further review.
Now they're going to take a look at it, see if in fact he did get the 1st down.
And those kind of rugby-looking scrums where you can't see the runner, he may have touched the ground a little prematurely and fell forward, and the referees just want to make sure they get it right.
Gary Delaney is our replay official. Chris LeMange is our referee, our white hat today.
So he has to get all the way to the 24-yard line. By that look, it's tough to see if a body part is down or if he makes it to the line to gain.
Yeah, you'd have to have another angle if you're going to see something definitive. And without a cart camera in this location.
Oh, that knee is down.
Yeah.
You can see the knee. Yeah, it looks to me like that ball is on the 25-yard line when that knee hits the ground.
Yeah. I think when you see the line in that shot, even though it is from the end zone angle, that should suffice and give them the 1st down.
Yeah, like I talked about, sometimes you go down just a little prematurely, but you can't really see it because of all these guys. But an outstanding job by our camera crew. I'm going to circle his knee right here. Boom. That's his knee down, and you can estimate.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down.
Right, so it's a lot of guess. Where's the ball?
Right.
You can't see the ball when that knee is down. You can assume that he maybe was short, but if that's the case, you have to make sure that you stay with the call on the field.
By the way, whenever you hear an announcer say we don't have a cart camera, that means that the area along the sidelines is so narrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the width necessary for us to move a cart with a camera on it from yard line to yard line. Roman Hemby is back in at running back now on first down. They mark it at the 23. And there is Nowakowski again. And the tight end lumbers down inside the 10. How many times you say a really solid Wisconsin tight end who now makes his way to Indiana to play this game? They've had some great ones in the past at Camp Randall. You can make a case too many. That's why he was able to make his way to Indiana. Going to mark it just inside the 10 at the 9. First and goal. Going for the corner. It's caught. It's Surratt. It is touchdown.
When you're down in here tight, it's man-to-man. You go with that slot fade. In my estimation, it is indefensible with a perfect throw. Surratt goes up top, squeezes it with 2 for a touchdown. Today, his targets, he's got 5 targets with 3 catches. Last week, the entire game, he only had 3 receptions.
The linebacker, our nickel in this case, 5 Hamilton, had pretty good coverage there. Ball was thrown right where only he could receive it, and Radicic adds the extra point. Mendoza off to a solid start, and the 30th touchdown catch of the career of Elijah. Oh my, Elijah. Hoosiers sideline happy, up by 2 touchdowns. 6 plays, 48 yards this time, and Surratt on the receiving end of the 9-yard touchdown pass to make it a 14-0 game. It's a critical sequence coming up now for this Kennesaw State team. They must get something going. They've been 3 and out on 2 separate occasions, and as they prepare to kick this one away, I don't think there's any question that Dexter Williams, who everybody believes has the capability, if he's going to grow in confidence, then he's going to need to be out there on 3rd and short. We'll see. This one goes through the end zone for the touchback. And look who's coming out. It's going to be Odom. And you know, if you think about it, Amari Odom, they've got a package of plays for him.
Yeah.
But I wonder now about the confidence of Dexter Williams if he is your primary starter, because they took him out on a 3rd and short.
Yeah, you take him out on 3rd and short, and then his first throw of the game is almost intercepted because of the inside defender, and then the next opportunity, he's not in the game, right? So the confidence could be shot, but they did say that Amari Odom has earned an opportunity to play in the football game, and the question I would love to ask is, like, I know you play fast, but do you slow it down now? Because your defense has been on the field for 15 plays and the offense only 6 plays, and he was worried about his team wearing down in this football game. Jerry Mack, the head coach, was.
Odom had a collarbone injury a year ago, and he's back now. They're very high on him, and you'll see he's got the size, strength, and the ability to run the football, primarily his running skills, but also the height factor. Kellen Wyatt, the stud linebacker, comes up, makes the stop on the play after a gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
And Tim, when we were down there, man, he's a tall drink of water, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he is. And this is exactly what happened on the opening series. The next play, a tackle for loss by Kellen Wyatt of Alexander Diggs. So after getting the chains on your side, now suddenly you find yourself in an either-or 3rd down situation.
Yeah, 2 outside there. That's something that a young quarterback doesn't see quite often. He doesn't pull the ball out, and you got a tackle for loss for the Hoosiers.
That's exactly what happened on the opening series.
Yep.
3rd and 4.
You have to expect for Odom, you're going to get man-to-man cover. So if it's a pass, you got to get to your favorite target.
Out of the shotgun, Odom again. Late pass. He made the decision late. He had room to run. The pass was incomplete, intended for Christian Moss. And on the tip drill, that one could have been picked as well.
And Tim, I like the idea and I love the confidence. You can see he drops back. He doesn't see anything down the field, right? He doesn't like it, so he starts to move. He starts to create, and then he sees a guy open. It's clear and sunny. I like the opportunity now. Are the receivers ready for that type of play? Are they ready to get that ball thrown to him when you're running? You would love to see the wide receiver reach out with two hands to make sure he tries to get that catch, and if not, the ball falls directly to the ground. But when you reach out with one, tips and overthrows. Tips and overthrows.
Keep an eye on the direction they decide to go in the next few series here.
Yeah, I don't think you can go back and forth, Tim. I think you got to stick with Odoms at least one more drive.
Yeah, 42-yard punt. Nothing doing. Wyatt and the Indiana defense have stood them up on 3 separate occasions.
Well, I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. Every day in a small town, oh, small communities. All my friends are
Oh, the cream and crimson of Indiana, known more for basketball than football, but Curt Cignetti is changing that narrative and has done it very quickly with the power of the transfer portal and an attitude for winning. And a coach from my generation that knew what Google was right away. As you look at the ball control situation, all Indiana right now, they're controlling things in every sense of the word.
Of course, especially on that first down productivity. We talked about it. It's getting 4 or more yards on first down so that everybody can stay on schedule. You hear announcers talk about it all the time, staying on schedule. Well, this is how you do it. You get 4 more yards. They're 6 of 9 right now at about 67%. And then 2 for 2 in the red zone with touchdowns, something they struggled with a week ago, and 2 for 3 on third downs. They're having themselves quite the day, and it's on the arm of Mendoza.
Pressure now on Mark Mattioli's defense to get a stop here, get off the field, because as you mentioned in the last series, is Ugana Waha making the stop. Young man out of Austell, Georgia, with the stop of Roman Himby. When you had the football as Kennesaw has, but only for 3 plays and not able to get a first down, you got to give your defense a break. Now the defense needs to create one of its own. Simply get a stop on this series. 2nd down and 9. Mendoza gets away from pressure. He's fleet of foot. That time, though, great pursuit by Cody Jones, the nickel, senior out of Memphis, Tennessee. Played at Michigan from 22 to 24. Transferred in.
Take a look at this effort play from the star linebacker who had 11 tackles a week ago, Baron Hobson. He falls down there, right? You can see him down, and then he gets up and starts to chase again. What a nice job, because if that tackle's broken, he's going to be right there to make the play.
You know, you touched on it. Hobson does not appear to have that sideline-to-sideline speed, but he makes plays. He makes plays all the time. Mendoza again showing you his wares. A foot as he gets it very close to the line to make for a first down. Marcus Patterson with the tackle.
Tim,
and it is a first down.
Do you remember with the third point on what the tape said about Mendoza?
Oh, yeah.
The difference in he and Rourke from a season ago. They have that element when everyone is covered. He has the ability to move his legs and create positive plays with his legs, and there he picks up a first down.
You saw Mark Mattioli over there, the defensive coordinator. Got another timeout here.
They're going to check and see, I think, if his knee went down before he actually passed the line of game.
Well, the microphone's not operating here for...
Yep, they already reviewed it quickly, and he was short. If you can read lips, I'm an outstanding lip reader, as you know. It's going to be 4th down for Indiana. But if I'm Indiana, if I'm head coach Curt Cignetti, I don't even really think about not going for it. I would go for it here because of the way that you're rolling.
The runner was down at the 39.5-yard line, short of the line of gain. It will be 4th down.
Yeah. Well, he found the on switch to his audio. Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Like I said, I wouldn't even think about punting this ball away because of the efficiency that you play with on first down and been able to sustain drives. I continue to try to move the ball down the field, and you have to trust, as an Indiana football team, that you can get a half a yard against Kennesaw State.
Mark Mattioli looks on, the defensive coordinator. Signetti is known for putting his foot on the jugular and early knockout punches. And this time, BB carries it right up the gut. And it appears as if he's got the line to make, and it's a first down.
Yeah, it's really close, but he did just pass the 40-yard line. And that's a good decision for head coach Curt Signetti.
You see the clock winding down here at the first quarter. A lot has been made nationally about the relative ease with which the non-conference schedule of Signetti's is put together, not just this year, but in the upcoming seasons ahead. But know this, Kennesaw State is pretty good.
Yeah.
Just ask Wake Forest. They've made them look awfully pedestrian today here in the first quarter. Timeout through one. It's all Indiana by 2 touchdowns. As we come back to start the second, look at those numbers from quarter number 1, and the Hoosiers on time, and ball placement for Mendoza has been outstanding. Something that he was not as sharp with a week ago. Kalon Black, number 8, is in the backfield now. They've used all 3 of their running backs so far. This is a little quick hitch out to LeBron Bond. And number 6, the freshman out of Norfolk, Virginia, with his first catch, a gain of 6. And again, they're right on time with a second and short.
I just love the change from Mendoza as far as his footwork is concerned. In the first half last week, he was so unsure on so many different things, not knowing which footwork marries to which route concept, like I talked about in the open. And there you can see he's completely on time, giving opportunities for his receivers to run and catch.
On that little play fake, pass just leading his receiver Bond a bit too much. Alford was in hot pursuit, but it falls incomplete. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Yeah, all us quarterbacks get in that kind of in-between situation where you're running and he's open and you don't want to fire it at him. You want to kind of feather it a little bit, and he feathers it just a bit too far outside, and he's not able to make the catch.
He is diametrically different, though, isn't he, from
so
Rourke?
Different.
I mean, because Rourke had a knee problem on top of everything else.
Oh, yeah.
This kid really does have the ability to make plays on his own in a manner that Rourke did not.
And in that way, they designed things for him as well.
3rd and 4. Black, nothing doing. So, Kennesaw State gets the stop they needed. Marcus Patterson, the defensive end out of Crestview, Florida. It's about 70 miles north of Okaloosa Island in the state of Florida.
Take a look at the violent hands and the violent ability to knock back the offensive line. I'm sorry, it's the defensive tackle that does it. Number 6, Marcus Patterson. They lined up a guy outside of him, but a nice job of just moving the offensive lineman into the backfield so that you can get your defense off the field.
Quinn Warren checks back in to punt it away. Handling the chores once held by Mitch McCarthy with Gabriel Binyard back deep. He's waiting at his 10. This is a low trajectory punt. And this is going to get a great roll. And roll down inside the 5-yard line. Well done. Well, we touched on how Kennesaw State became a Division I school. My old pal Vince Dooley, we worked together in 1989, his first year out of coaching. They called upon him to help them give a blueprint for how to create a Division I program. That happened in 2011 and 12. By 13, they were ready to go. And it was one of the final things that he wanted to accomplish to help them get going. Brian Bohannon did a remarkable job. They had great seasons. He was let go before last season. And you think about the move to Conference USA. It was a struggle in year 1. But this guy right here, Coach Mack, is the right guy at the right time. And Odom remains the quarterback. And he's stopped behind the line. The ball came loose late. It's recovered by Indiana. Did the whistle blow? I thought forward progress had been stopped. Rolijah Hardy, number 21, made the stop. I didn't hear a whistle.
Yeah, and this is something that isn't reviewable. If they did deem that he had his forward progress stopped, the ball would be dead where they thought so.
The ruling on the field is the forward progress was stopped.
Yes.
2nd down.
Right. Didn't hear a whistle, neither did the players. But it certainly appeared as though The offensive players for Kennesaw State were aware that it had been blown dead. Still a loss of 2.
And Tim, we talked to the offensive staff and offensive coordinator Mitch Militello as we take a look to see. Yeah, he's clearly stopped.
Never heard a whistle.
Yeah, Tim.
Never heard a whistle.
If that isn't the definition of forward progress, being stopped and being knocked back, I don't think I've ever seen it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Chase Belcher, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run to.
And Tim, as we approach this 3rd down, when we talked to Mitch Militello, the offensive coordinator, he said we don't have a set number of targets or carries for Binyard and Bennett, but when our back is against the wall, we need to get those guys the football, right? So that's number 1 in white and number 0 in white. Right now, it's got to be Binyard, the wide receiver. And I've never seen a situation where your back is more against the wall, down 14 within the shadow of your own end zone.
Oh, yeah, and 3rd and long again. 3rd and 12. Don't be surprised if they bring a lot of pressure right here, right now. Yep, there it is. Odom looking to get it done on his own, and he is wrapped up by Aiden Fisher, who is a heat-seeking missile. He is a James Madison missile. He had 108 tackles at JMU in 23, 118 a year ago.
There's a thing called plaster, Tim. When you get the quarterback running out of the pocket, you got to plaster. Take a look at all the wide receivers. They are covered up by red uniforms. An outstanding job by the secondary of Indiana. Plaster to your man. Plaster to your man. And so there's nowhere to go for Odom. How about the conversation we had with Aiden Fisher yesterday? I mean, just oozing with confidence, and you can see some of that confidence on that play right there.
Yeah. Well, they almost got to that one. Brady backing up inside his 40. And there he goes. Jonathan Brady. Magnificent return. Inside the 30 to the 27-yard line before being bounced out of bounds. He had a touchdown a week ago. Coleman Bennett saved it here by shoving him out. That's a 56-yard boot, a 33-yard return.
He was dreaming big dreams. You can see he's the transfer from Cal that came along with Fernando Mendoza last week. Like you talked about, he got in the end zone, and he thought he had a chance to do it again.
He went 91 yards for that punt return. And that actually helped put the game away because Old Dominion was right there.
Oh, yeah.
At that particular point in the game.
It's demoralizing when you stop their offense, and somehow they still put 7 on the board in special teams.
And Mendoza's got to be licking his chops with this field position.
And this defense stood tall a drive ago. Can they continue to do it up front? They've played really well and done a nice job with this offensive line since the first 2 touchdowns.
Look in, pattern drop. E.J. Williams had his head moving towards the goal line before he brought it in. That's as bad a drop as you'll see.
Nice job and nice poise from Mendoza. It's an RPO. You can see you just got to get around the linebacker. Is it a touch behind? Yes, that ball has to be caught by E.J. Williams Jr.
3 wides to the top of your screen, and Omar Cooper to the bottom. There goes Black. That's a shoestring tackle in space. And a dandy by Isaac Paul, the redshirt sophomore from Panama City. Took a big leap a season ago.
Tim, not only shoestring, that's a touchdown saving tackle, because if this play is not made coming from the safety position, then it is going to be a touchdown, and he'll be off to the races. Outstanding job of tripping those feet up to get him to the ground.
Nowakowski in motion now, gets into the slot left on 3rd and 7. Mendoza for the corner. It's caught. It's Surratt. Nope, it's incomplete. He had it. He dropped it. Boy, that's a good route, too. Caleb Alford was there, stayed with it defensively. He did the job here.
Outstanding defense. He's in phase the entire time, and because he's looking back, they're both jousting. The tone was set on the first drive. They are going to let these guys play. Alford is there with his eyes back, and he continues to rake that ball out so it can't be completed.
As he was on his way down, he had possession of the ball.
That's a big-time stop by this Kennesaw State defense.
I tell you, that was a magnificent strip by Alford. Because on the way down, Surratt had it, but only with the one hand. Radicic from 42 yards. And then we got a whistle pre-snap. Could be a false start, maybe too much time. Delay a game coming. Got to delay a game and delay of referee Mike.
Offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Hey, Tim, if it keeps happening, it's going to be me. Delay of game. Number 15, team. On the offense. Yeah, when you know you're kicking a field goal, a coach like Curt Cignetti is not going to be happy about getting a delay of game. You should have the operation ready to roll.
Nothing like a little salty language in slow motion.
Indiana.
Did you like
their first time out of the half?
Did you like my Did you like my referee game? The echo that I created?
That was see what that is right there. Old coaches back in the day would call that the mother grubs. When a coach is, things that players really don't need to hear.
The mother grubs?
Call the mother. He's upset. He's talking to himself. It's like, well,
Tim,
rats of frats, blah, 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 talking to himself.
Tim,
that's what we call that.
I'm not adding mother grubs to my vocab. Hey, Tim.
Well, trust me, I was on the receiving end of that.
While we're here,
something Joe Pesci would say in a movie.
I got you, Tim. I got you.
Yeah.
While nothing's happening, I want to give you a little term.
Yeah.
Keep you young.
Uh-huh.
I learned a new term. It's called aura forming.
Aura forming.
So the aura of a person.
Yeah.
For people who don't naturally have it, aura farming. For the people that don't have it like you, they have to pretend.
Okay.
Right? So they just make themselves seem a little bit cooler than they are.
Well,
you don't have that problem, though, right, Tim?
No, I don't.
So now you know aura farming.
It's because I listen to guys like you.
How about some aura here? Coach Cignetti changes his mind and says, we're going to go.
The heck with it. I'm going to go for it now.
There you go.
4th and 7. Well, this is sort of an in-your-face to Kennesaw State, is it not? Hemby's in the backfield. And the pass is caught, but shy of the margin to gain. Surratt, that is a momentum shifter now, big time, to Kennesaw State. If they are able to get something done, remember that moment.
Of course. And, Tim, that might be the definition of aura farming. You threw a shallow across to gain 11.
I still call it the mother grubs. In every game, there can be a change in mojo or momentum, if you prefer, right? This could be that moment if, and only if, Kennesaw State gets something done offensively. You see, the kicker very upset. He wanted an opportunity at a career long. Radicic's longest is 41, but he was in position, and during that timeout after the 4th down stop, a little conversation with Mark Langston, who is the deep snapper with Cignetti. More on that in a moment. Here's Odom. Again, every pass, it seems, is like this, and it goes for a tackle for loss. Alexander Diggs stopped by Devin Boykin, number 12. Here's the video that we were touching on during the commercial break. That's Langston, the long snapper that Cignetti's talking to. They're curious as to why they got the penalty. But still, a 47-yarder turned down, and the coach decided to go on 4th and 7. And with this stop, I think the opportunity is there if Kennesaw State can just manifest anything against this stalwart Indiana D.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to attack downfield. And remember, you've got to get Gabriel Binyard involved in the football game.
Diggs. They love this kid. As a high school senior, he rushed for almost 2,200 all-purpose yards. Aiden Fisher with the stop. And again, 3rd down and long. 3rd down. And we'll call it 7. No first downs in this game so far for the Owls.
Yeah, and there's your first down right there. Binyard, the slot wide receiver. Give him an opportunity. He's a dynamic football player, and he hasn't made himself a part of this game just yet, highlighted on the screen there.
Coleman Bennett hasn't had a breakout moment either, and he's an outstanding back. Blitz coming off the corner. Oh, what a nice move that was. And Amari Odom is close. He may have the first down. Tyreek Tucker made the stop. Yes, I believe he got it. First down of the game, and they are playing fast.
What a nice play by Odom. I mean, just out there playing a little backyard football. They take away the quick throw to Binyard like we talked about. He wanted to get it to him. They take it away. He finds a way to move, gives a little pump fake, a little jump. Wow.
The ruling on the field was a first down.
By the way,
That ruling is under further review.
And Tim, they're giving us a chance to rewatch this beautiful play. They slowed him down just for us and the viewers at home. Take a look at it and see if he even gets to the line to gain. You can see there he's contacted there. He's falling. He's falling.
It's where the ball is.
I think he's going to be very close. The tip of the ball might have grazed the line to gain, and I don't think there's enough there to say he did not get it. If that makes sense.
By the way, across the way at Assembly Hall, that would have been a travel. Okay.
Hey, he jumps up.
When he jumps up, you can't come down. You got to dribble it. I'm sorry, you can't.
I love it.
But in football, you can do that.
Yeah, of course.
That's right.
Man, he got the defensive players for sure.
Yeah.
Let's take another look and see if you can see he starts to continue to fight. I don't think there's enough, Tim.
Yeah, I think the elbow was where it needed to be. And again, it's not necessarily where the knee is, it's where the ball is.
When the knee hits.
Yes, when the knee hits, which is where the ball is located with Odom. And I thought the elbow was on that line.
So plays like that, they expected he would be able to make plays like that, but he's just a little underdeveloped in the whole entire thing of being a quarterback, right? And so those are the kind of plays they thought Dexter Williams would be able to make. They thought he would play free, and playing free is what's going to get you what you want, right? It's going to get you an opportunity to be in this game at the end in the fourth quarter.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough, and
I'm with you.
The officials agree. Now let's take a look. Let's just enjoy this, right? He sees that he wants to get it to Ben Yard like we talked about. Nope, can't get there. Okay, now where am I going to go? Up. Oh, nope, I can't throw it there. He's up. Now I got to go down and under. Oh, my God, they're about to tackle me. Let me get drive. First down. You like that?
I love that.
There you go.
You broke that down well.
There you go.
Isaiah Jones got airborne. He took the ball fake.
That's okay.
It's an option look, but nowhere to go for Amari Odom, and it was really well defended by Indiana going to the wide side of the field. They've got a ton of tackles for losses on first down. Stephen Daly this time, number 8, senior from Winchester, Virginia. Going quick again. Lets it fly and deep. Incomplete. Christian Moss, the intended receiver. There were a couple of guys down there flying free, and it looked to me as though Odom rushed that pass a little.
You've got an inexperienced quarterback in the game. You've got to be clean and make plays. You're just going to get verticals down the field with a little bluff, and he is open. He slows down and starts to turn instead of just running underneath the football. You've got to make those plays in games like this, in arenas such as this.
And yet again, third and long, third down and 11. Looks like a timeout coming for Kennesaw State.
Timeout. Kennesaw State, their first time out of the half.
I mean, I understand this is the best field position by far they've had so far today. They need to convert right here, right now.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, the Cyhawks Trophy's on the line with 16th ranked Iowa State hosting Iowa, while number 11 Illinois has a tricky road test at Duke. And we'll show you if Arch Manning can bounce back today in Austin. Tim and Devin, join us at the half. We promise you'll be in good hands. Let's go.
See, those are the hands that Christian Moss needed. he needed to make that play for his young quarterback, Amari Odom. What a catch there, huh?
Sarge has got great hands.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well dressed as usual.
So here we go with a third down and 11. And Amari Odom apparently is the guy for the rest of the day. Dexter Williams, in case you just joined us, he had 2 opportunities. A near pick, I think, ended his day. And Odom, who's got some pedigree and lineage, is in the game on third and 11. Over the middle, this one is to Christian Moss. He brought it in right at the line to make.
Those are the hands.
Yes, at the 47-yard line for a first down, gain of 11.
Very encouraging, one of the first downfield completions for Kennesaw State. You can see them start to slow down and allow your young quarterback to get comfortable. You have middle open in the back end.
That's Ben Yard in motion, and he's looking that way. Goes underneath instead to Moss, who grabs it a yard shy of the first down. In some traffic there, too.
This is where they love to go fast, and so now you're wearing on those defensive linemen. They can't get all the pressure that they want, so you should have time at the quarterback position.
Bennett. Oh, it opens up like the Red Sea. There he goes inside the 20 and down to the 17. Coleman Bennett, the son of Donnell, who was a magnificent runner with the Chiefs back in the day. 26 yards.
He's got great contact balance, Coleman Bennett does, and they're going to go fast here to keep Indiana on their heels.
Also played with the Redskins, his dad. Nothing doing this time. You know, Odom, the book on him, the mom Patricia Stafford Odom played basketball at Cal and in the WNBA. She was actually coaching at UNC Central when Coach Mack was the head coach of that program in the FCS.
You can see those defensive linemen for Indiana resting on their knees.
First time in the red zone today for Kennesaw State. Odom. Well, that was a late developing play to Moss, but he got him on the curl down to the 10. Well, it's pretty clear that the senior from Kennesaw, right there in Kennesaw, Georgia, is his favorite target.
Yeah.
3rd and 2.
So 3rd and 2 here. You can see that they've loved what Amari Odom is capable of doing in the run game. So if it were me, I would make sure I pick up an extra blocker and allow him to get behind his running back, Coleman Bennett, and try to pick up this first down.
After going 0 for 4 on their first 3rd down conversions, they've hit their last 2 in a row. Let's see if they can make it 3. Pass thrown behind the receiver, Ben Yard, who was right there on a quick slant. Pass went behind him. Almost appeared that he was thinking out pattern.
Yeah, Tim, what he was thinking was, you're wide open to gain 2 yards. They're off 15 yards. I'm going to throw it straight to you. However, he hasn't been going with the starters, right? He's thinking a little bit faster and a little bit further ahead than the team is quite ready for. So now you get to the sideline and say, hey, look on the iPad. If we see that look again, I'm going to get you that football right away. And that's their longest and best drive of the day. Outstanding job by the young quarterback, Amari Odom. And now the freshman kicker gets his opportunity.
Yeah, Daniel Kenny from 28 yards. And that is a really positive sign after what happened a week ago against Wake Forest. If they had had an extra point or a chip shot field goal, they would have beaten the Demon Deacons. It's 14-3.
Welcome back to Bloomington, where Kennesaw State just took a small bite out of that Indiana lead, and that last drive was the best of the day. Odom played very well. He's throwing the ball on target, on time, and a great catch by his wide receiver, the one that he loves the most right now, Christian Moss, doing a nice job of driving down the field. And then we talked about Coleman Bennett being able to get involved in the football game. He does that with a very nice run down the field. This drive finished with a miscommunication by the quarterback and their other talented player, wide receiver Gabriel Binyard. However, that has to be very encouraging for the man on the screen, head coach Jerry Mack.
Indeed, and all things considered, if his team can get a stop right here, we may be pointing back to that decision after the penalty on a field goal try to go for it on 4th and 7, where the game could have been really getting away from Kennesaw State altogether.
Oh, yeah.
And yet they're able to capitalize in what would be a 6-point swing. If it's 17-0 if they convert the field goal, now it's 14-3. That's a 6-point swing.
Wait a minute, Tim. Are you doing math over here? Are you up here doing math? I didn't know you were a mathematician.
Scott Alexander gave me all that. I mean, I couldn't do that on my own.
You got your human calculator over there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it does take a village, okay?
I always get confused at the point swings.
Yeah, that's right. No doubt about it. First down 10 now for Indiana with Lee Beebe in the backfield for Mendoza. Has had a very good first half. That's a strike right to Elijah Surratt. And a first down out to the 37-yard line in the arms of Caleb Alford.
Tim, this is just too much space on the outside. Watch it as it develops. You're off and backing, off and backing. That's an easy access throw for Fernando Mendoza, and he hits it on time for a first down to Surratt.
Now they give him 13 yards on the completion.
To match his number.
Extra tight end now. They go with 12 personnel, and BB sets free. Well, he's a home run hitter when he gets to the second level, isn't he? Alexander Ford runs him down inside the Owl 40 at the 38, gain of 24.
At home, take a look at the movement from this offensive line, finding a way to move guys and get to the second level. A nice job of finding your way through, and I like to call it sifting through by BB.
From the 38 to the opposition's 38 on that play. BB, the UAB transfers in there. There's the play fake, and it's Surratt. Oh, Elijah getting it done again. Finally corralled near the 10-yard line. We'll call it the 11, and a 27-yard gain.
Outstanding by Fernando Mendoza. Seeing rotation. It's a safety over here. He's going to rotate out of the way. Once he rotates, it's an open throw to Surratt. He snatches it out of the air, makes the safety miss, and gets just a little bit more.
55 yards over the last 2 plays for Mendoza and company.
Fernando Mendoza is playing extremely clean football, even better than the second half a week ago.
On first down, BB. Oh yeah, touchdown. Well, that offensive front really did the job on the left-hand side right here.
Absolutely. Take a look at the left-hand side. You're going to get BB, who's just going to find his way through. A very nice job of, again, getting to the second level by number 37, Nowakowski, making sure he covers up that linebacker. The safety is the last defender to stop him, and he can't do it.
Pat Coogan turned the nose tackle completely around the center. Young man from Notre Dame. Basically lost his position after being a starter for so long. 26 starts he had. Look at the job he did clearing the way for BB.
Yeah, and after that fumble that BB had a week ago, he has been exemplary as a runner. 11 rushes last week for 73 yards. That's 6.6 per carry. And today he is running the football very well. We actually haven't seen much of Roman Hemby. And how about Mendoza? They didn't pass protect on that play, but they ran well. And Mendoza knows that's success for him, and he gives that offensive line some love.
Yes. And I noticed he went right to Khalil Benson, who had a tough afternoon a week ago. Look at that. Last week to this week, I'd say there's been a big difference. And the Hoosiers' lead is catapulted to 18 now. BB set that blocking, waited for it, and it was clear sailing for him. Cody Jones awaits the kick. See if Kennesaw State can, from an offensive standpoint, carry through on the momentum they gained in their last series. Well, tonight on Baseball Night in America, Jose Altuve, who can go deep as a leadoff hitter, as the Astros are fighting for the AL West crown yet again against the Rangers, or the Giants take on the Cardinals, or it's Twins-Royals. Check local listings for the game in your area tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox. Tell you what, Altuve gets more power out of that spot of his than anybody I've ever seen, really going back for many, many years. And he's really the only guy left from the Astros teams that really started dominating in that division of the American League. Diggs stopped in his tracks right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tyreek Tucker, the nose tackle, with the stop. Fisher's played well. Those linebackers, Elijah Hardy, have been on point today. 2nd and 10 for Amari Odom, who's been in since the 3rd series in the first quarter. Still haven't been able to find Benyard out wide.
For Indiana, these safeties have started to try to get involved. Maybe you can get the ball over their head.
Diggs bouncing out. Magnificent running there. Quick feet. Stopped by Lewis Moore. Moore is the player that could be out by next week based on the NCAA clearinghouse. That's a 20-yard gain. That may be a story that develops in the next week or so that could be big. This pass is caught. Lyndon Ruvar on the receiving end. It is a catch. Yes, sir.
Wow.
How about that?
The talent and the ability to get this ball outside the numbers before the safety gets there, and the sky up. Lyndon Ruvar makes the catch.
Odom and Benyard again trying to get him on track somehow, some way, but Odom That time on the read, decided to keep it.
What a great catch by Barr.
High pointed it.
Oh
really,
my goodness.
really did.
And the courage and the ability. I talked about those safeties getting low, and then you can throw it over their head, and Odom does it right there.
So the 2-minute timeout.
Hey Tim, I got something for you.
Yep.
The safety's low, you gotta throw a go. They do it there, complete. Back on the other side.
Or is that go and throw? Or throw and go?
Let's go. Go Hoosiers! Let's go Hoosiers!
The pride of Gary, Indiana, the Jackson 5, and Michael Jackson going back to Indiana. We welcome you back here on FS1. Tim Brando, Josh R. Sims, and old number 98, Devin Gardner in the booth at Merchants Bank Field at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington. Coleman Bennett, Alexander Diggs in the backfield. 2nd down and 11. Once again, the Owls in the red zone. Odom spilled quickly. Boy, I tell you, the quick identification of Isaiah Jones, 46, piercing through there the moment he read that was a run by the QB1.
And not only Jones, you got Aiden Fisher going in and sacrificing himself with the lead blocker, so now there's nobody for number 46, Isaiah Jones, who this coaching staff is really excited about, the redshirt junior. They said if it weren't for Fisher being the green dot, he would be a 4.0 student here at Indiana.
Boy, have the Hoosiers covered up Gabriel Binyard so far. I mean, he's not gotten a sniff. 3rd and 11. Quick curl, it's caught shy of the 10 by Moss. That's really been the guy that Odom has found since coming in. Lewis Moore does wrap him up.
You don't know how many opportunities you're going to get down here, Tim. I think you have to go for it here.
Yeah.
And that's what they're thinking about doing. They're leaving their offense on the field, but now changing their mind. I would have loved to see him go for it. Your quarterback is hot. He's moving around well. He's seeing the field well.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him get an opportunity, but don't forget, there's still a chance for a fake.
Yeah,
right?
that's
You don't
true.
know how many opportunities you're going to have down here.
That's true. They do get the ball to start the second half, and with a field goal here, that would cut it to a 2-score game, a 2-possession game from the 29-yard area. And a nice draw. Man, that's a power swing there by the freshman Daniel Kinney, freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, and at home, if you're a Kennesaw State fan, you're rejoicing because last week the kicking woes were very evident. You would have won that football game if you're able to make an extra point. At least you get to go to overtime. And Kinney comes in, kind of saves the day, makes a kick. And this was an open competition, right? And this is a competition that waged on into the season because Kinney was injured during camp, right? So he didn't really get a true opportunity. The competition continues, and the true freshman, Daniel Kinney, wins it.
It was really tough on them a week ago. That was a very winnable game. I mean,
just completely misses it. I mean,
yeah, now it's in your head, right?
Yeah.
When you miss it like that.
Of course, because he's had the leg. He's
Right.
made a 49-yarder in his career, but he just, like you said, got in his own head probably. Misses an extra point, that one of the easiest kicks on the field, and then he misses that one, and it kind of takes away the opportunity for Kennesaw State to get to overtime and maybe win the football game.
Yeah, Britton Williams was a solid kicker. Redshirt senior out of Richmond Hill, Georgia. In his first collegiate attempt with Georgia Southern, he hit on a 49-yarder. So he's got some pedigree, but
yeah, he was 4 for 4 in 2022.
yeah, he was. 21-6 our score. So a little momentum here for Kennesaw State as we close the half. Let's go back down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, guys, not the production we expected from Elijah Sherratt last week. Just 3 receptions. I talked to him about it this week, and he said, look, I've had 4 different quarterbacks in the last 4 years. It takes time to establish a connection with them, but today we're seeing it. 6 receptions, 70 yards, a score already for a guy nicknamed Waffle House by his dad because he's always open to me, B.
He has been open all day. And for young wide receivers
Yeah.
at home who think of themselves as a #1 one a great player. Do not get upset when you're not getting the ball. Be a great teammate, and it could lead to a day like today for Surratt.
So are you a smothered and covered guy or just a smothered guy at Waffle House?
Man, Tim, I don't know what I do not know.
You're not a Waffle House guy?
I'm not a Waffle House guy. You know, I'm from Detroit. We don't have Waffle Houses. No Waffle Houses.
That's a shame. We
got Coney Island. Now, Coney Island, how do you want your Coney dog? You want a little chili, little cheese maybe, onions? Light onion is for me.
Light mustard, okay? Go easy on the mayo, too.
Mayo on the hot dog? Now you're being weird.
A very entertaining close to this half. Kennesaw State has a little left in their tank, it would appear. Odom's looked very good since coming in the last couple of series. Let's get you back to our Los Angeles studios. Mike Hill, Coach Pete, Bruce Feldman. Fellas, how do you do?
We doing good.
Doing good. Like Indiana is at the half. Maybe not as good as Sim because Sim's calling every game in college football right now. As we welcome you to the State Farm College Football Halftime Show, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Mike Hill, Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman hanging out with you. Hey, the schedule for Indiana is going to get much tougher after next week in Indiana State. But so far this season, they are taking care of business against the teams they are supposed to be taken care of as we take a look at the State Farm halftime highlights. And it helps to have a good quarterback in Fernando Mendoza. Coach.
Yeah, it does. And I like the way the schedule shapes up for Indiana. They start out kind of easy, and then it does get tough. But he has been very smooth. The first game today, he's 10 for 15, 144 yards. You know, the pro scouts are really drooling about this guy because you see flashes. I mean, he's big, he's fast. Strong arm, the ball comes out pretty. Every now and again, he kind of misses a few lay-ins. That's what happened to Cal in the past. He takes that next step. Kirk Cignetti's going to have something on his hands that he's going to like a lot.
I want to go to the other side of it. You know, we just saw Kennesaw State move the ball down. It's the second time they went for a field goal when they could have gone for it. I think Devin hit the nail on the head. When you're on the road against a really good team, you know, what do you got to lose? You got to take chances. I was a little surprised Jerry Mack didn't go for it the second time in a row.
Kennesaw State, first ever game against a Big Ten opponent, held to 137 total yards in the first half, just 6 points, 21-6, second half coming up momentarily. Meanwhile, 16th-ranked Iowa State hosting Iowa in the battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Each of the last 3 meetings has been a one-score game. Another close one going on right now. We'll get you the highlights coming up. And after a disappointing season debut against Ohio State, Arch Manning looking to show out at home. See what he's doing against San Jose State. And so far, so good for the junior legend, so to speak.
Welcome back to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back at the half with Iowa State leading Iowa 13-3 in the battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. There's nothing bigger in Iowa sports battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. 16th-ranked Iowa State off to an impressive 2-0 start behind the play of Rocco Beck hosting Iowa. Visitors have won the last 5 meetings in this 131-year rivalry. Rocco Beck off to a great start once again. Finds Brett Elskudin, 35-yard gain down to the inside Iowa territory. That led to a Cyclones field goal, made it 6-0 later in the first. Xavier Townsend, hey, you can't do this. Recovered by Cohen Instrugen.
Yeah, you can't. And the punt returner, if he's going to make this play, you got to get yourself in position to make this catch.
Very controversial there. They had to review it. Iowa still down 6-3 though. Beck though. Benjamin Bramer, look at that catch right there.
Great catch. Those behind you type catches are so much more difficult than they look like.
Iowa State up right now 13-3. Baylor, number 17, SMU, a battle here. Baylor's won 13 in a row in this series.
Man, oh man, that's great concentration.
Kevin Jennings is having himself a
yeah.
Kevin Jennings so far, 10 for 10, 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. SMU up by 3 at the half. San Jose State, number 7, Texas. Can Arch Manning bounce back after that disappointing loss against Ohio State? Here he is, Parker Livingstone.
That doesn't look like the Ohio State defense.
No, not at all. 83 yards right there. Of course, he had Livingstone last week for a touchdown as well. Texas up 7-0, but Arch not done. This time, it's going to find Jack injuries. This is 36 yards.
This kind of reminds me of a Jurassic Park type game where, you know, in Jurassic Park, they drop the goat into the field and the Tyrannosaurus Rex just comes and just gets after it. This is kind of what might happen.
Yeah, Texas is feasting right now. Big time game. They need this one. Manning, injuries again. Manning, 11-17, 180 yards. He's got 4 TDs so far. This game's not even in the half right now. Utah State, Texas A&M. Utah State giving Texas A&M some issues. Marcel Reed, though, to Terry Bussey.
Very pretty throw and catch.
Aggies up 7-0 right there. 4th and goal, though. How about the Aggies? Trick play. Anthony Garcia. Allen Davis. All right.
Sandlot football. I love it.
You like those trick plays?
I like sandlot football.
I made it 7-6. But just moments ago, Marcel Reed lining up behind center. Touchdown run, does it himself, gets it done. Texas A&M up 17-6 right now in the second quarter. FIU, Penn State. You think Penn State is just going to roll all over FIU, right?
I would think so.
Drew Aller gets it to Khalil Dinkins right there for the touchdown. But right now, at the half, it is just 10-0 in that game. Let's go back to the Iowa State game. Of course, that game's over on Fox with Iowa bringing in Mark Gronowski from FCS, all-time winning this quarterback over there. You would think that this Iowa offense would take that next step in development. So far, that hasn't been the case.
It has not. I know it's still early, but this has been one of the bigger disappointments of the early start of the season. Last week, he struggled. He was like dirting balls at times when they looked like they were wide open receivers. Again, today, 8 for 14, only 30 yards passing. The passing game has been really, really suspect. You just wonder, we know he can run, but that's about it. You wonder if he's like fully healthy. He doesn't look comfortable. This looks like the old, inept Iowa Hawkeye offense.
Yeah, I think we were expecting more, but I think when you get to the Iowa State games, the Cy-Hawk Trophy, game, it almost should be the Rock Fight Trophy, because you're just going to get one of these slugfests where it's just great defense. I always think these first couple games, you're going to see tackling, turnovers, and special teams show up. Iowa State is just very lucky that Iowa only got a field goal out of this. The first step to winning, especially early on in the season, is don't beat yourself. And you're going to always see these type of plays right here. And when you are playing an evenly matched opponent, these type of things are going to matter. So I think in the second half, we got to see, hey, just don't beat yourself. That team's probably going to win this game.
Once again, the road team has won the last 5 in the series. Iowa State hasn't won at home in the series since 2011. And in a rock fight, I'm going to take the team that got Rocco Beck as their quarterback.
That's an advantage.
Hey, next Saturday, big noon kickoff will be in Chicago, 6th-ranked Oregon, taking on Northwestern. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern on Fox. 11th-ranked Illinois with their first true test of the season on the road at Duke with the Blue Devils. Put them on upset alerts. A good game. Highlights coming up next. Elijah Surratt right here. TD catch. That's why he's an All-American. Indiana up 21-6 right now over Kennesaw State at the break.
Welcome back to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, after that tough loss at home last week, Coach Prime and the Buffs look to rebound against Delaware. That's at 3:30 Eastern, and the game's over on Fox. Coach Bruce Mike back with you. Indiana up 21-6 at the half. 11th-ranked Illinois coming into the season with high expectations, returning 16 starters from their 10-win season a year ago. A big reason they're a potential playoff contender with a tricky road test today at Duke. Duke's a good team. As you say, it's a big game for Illinois.
I think it's huge. This is a very underrated game for Duke, for Illinois. They got to get this done if they do have playoff hopes.
Special teams helping them there. Duke helping them out. Keyshawn Brown muffing the punt. Illinois returns, and they cash in. Caden Fagan getting to the end zone. Illinois goes up 7-3, and then Luke Altmaier.
Yeah, this is such a good route by Rusk here. He resets that stem before he heads to the back pylon. There's a lot of art in that route and that touchdown right there.
Great throw by Altmaier there, 14-6 late in the first half. Florida State's back. Number 14, they beat Alabama last week, and they're rolling against East Texas A&M.
Bruce, this is about confidence. They got a lot of confidence off that win last week. Look at that catch.
Deuce Robinson. Yeah, USC fans remember him, and he'll probably be a bigger star at his dad's alma mater, FSU.
Tommy Castellanos having another big game for them as well. Virginia, NC State, C.J. Bailey over the middle to Noah Rogers. NC State up, ties it at 14. Then Chandler Morris under pressure finds Sage Ennis. Both teams trying to go to 2-0 in the young season. It's 24-14. Cavaliers up. Let's go Texas Tech. They're saying it's the best money can buy. taking on Kent State.
It looks like they're getting a return on their money. Let me just say that.
Darren Morton was there last year. He's a good quarterback. Koy Aiken, 42 yards. Tech rolling in that one. Northwestern State at Minnesota. This one's all Minnesota, guys.
Wow. Wow.
In a big way.
Wow.
Look at the score.
They got them rolling.
Yeah.
PJ's got them rolling. Yeah.
59-0.
I'm not sure.
Update over on Fox real quick. Iowa in the red zone trying to cash in. Gronowski keeps it. This is one of the things he can do. He gets into the end zone, and just like that, it's a 13-9. I guess the extra point is pending late in the first half there. The game once again over on Fox. Battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Meanwhile, Indiana finding a way to get into the end zone, doing it on both ends of the football. They're up 21-6. Tim and Devin, second half coming up next.
At halftime, Merchants Bank Field at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, home of the Crimson. Tim Brando alongside my partner in lavender today, number 98, Devin Gardner. You know, Devin, I think most football pundits thought that they may have improved at quarterback. As good as Rourke was a year ago, Mendoza brought more to the table, maybe more dynamics. Last week after the performance, not so much. We weren't sure. Today, he's on target.
Oh, man, he's doing exactly what I asked of him when I talked about what the tape said. I said, he's still figuring out the offense. We'll take a look at this from left all the way to right, a perfect throw. And then I said, when he knows, he throws a really catchable ball. He's on time, on target. And then this great throw to Surratt for a touchdown. And what else did I say? He's capable of making those extra plays, and that's why they thought he could be an improvement from Rourke. As good as Rourke was, he didn't have that ability to use his legs and create extra plays.
The numbers definitely tell the story, don't they? 10 of 15, 144, and a touchdown. You know, getting the ball out quickly and on time is really more what their offense is all about. But he does have that ability when under duress to get out of there and use his legs in a manner that Rourke did not. Now, here's the key for Kennesaw State. They closed well with Amari Odom. What about the second half as they get the ball? Josh Sims.
Well, guys, I talked to head coach Jerry Mack about that decision to go to Amari Odom, and he said, well, look, when Odom came in the game, he provided the spark that we needed. We saw more of a sense of urgency. He commanded the offense just better than Dexter Williams flat out did in the first half. So they're sticking with him in the second half, hoping that spark can contain them the rest of the way. Felt like the offense really started to move once he came into the game, guys.
I hear you.
He's exactly right.
Yep.
He's exactly right.
And Coach Mack knows his team better than we do. I just felt a little sympathy or empathy, perhaps, for Williams, given what happened to him in the first couple of series. But when he almost threw that pick, I think that was a telltale for him, and one of the reasons he had to go with Odom. He pulls it down here, does manage to avoid a sack, get ahead for about a yard. Devin Boykin, redshirt senior from Greensboro, North Carolina, with the stop.
And a lot of why Dexter Williams won the competition to begin with was because of his quick decision-making, his ability to see what's going on down the field and make those fast decisions because they like to play fast. And today, it's been Amari Odom who's played extremely fast, even maybe faster than they might have expected he would play. He's doing a really nice job to this point in the game.
You know, they list him at 6'4". I'm going to say he's all of 6'5", to be honest with you. And he's quick to go along with it. He's got an open receiver that brings it in. Is that finally Gabriel Benyard? I think it is.
We've clamored for it. We've talked about it. We've said you've got to get him involved. 5 catches for 103 yards a week ago. And take a look at this diving catch and the body control to get a foot down. A huge play to start this drive.
He made a great adjustment there, looking over one shoulder and then another. And now we could have some interference. We will as the flag comes down. Pass intended for Christian Moss. Jamari Sharp had a lot of jersey. And the interference took place very early in his route.
The only question will be, is it holding or interference?
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So they get 32 yards on the first pass. They get 15 more here. This is the 32-yarder, the previous play.
Let's just enjoy this one more time, being able to go over that other shoulder. I can't tell you, Tim, how difficult that is to do that and then make sure you get a foot inbounds. Outstanding job, and that's why we clamored in the first half for him to get touches.
Yeah, Gabriel Binyard led the Owls in receptions, not just last week, but last year. 19 receptions, 162 as he battled through injuries then. And Odom this time slips down as he's making his move right around the hash mark at the 24-yard line. Well, actually, they mark it at the 25 of Indiana, gain of 2.
Yeah, Tim, he doesn't get much on that play, but I just love the quick decision-making, the ability to see, I don't like it downfield, I'm not sure, so let me get out of here and pick up a positive game, and that's what we didn't see from Dexter Williams early. So the thing about this young quarterback is he's playing beyond himself. He's playing fast, he's thinking fast, and his body is following.
Listen, this is a brand new coaching staff. Everyone's assembled, and you see a little blitz action coming off the corner from Aiden Fisher, and he wraps him up. The senior from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and the JMU guy that's the leader of this defense.
All right, Brian Haynes saying, all right, that's enough. Let's bring our talented linebacker off the edge and get to the quarterback as soon as he gets out of that play action for a sack.
Basically moved into a 4-man line with a defensive front from his linebacker spot. So here we go, 3rd and a long 14. A teacup formation to the top. They set up a wide receiver screen. He throws it in the ground. Coleman Bennett was there. They were trying to set up a little convoy to get him going. So they do not convert with any points, but they did manage to get some outstanding field position with the hopes that they can get a punt to maybe close them back or a field goal try. They're going to try a 50-yarder here.
Yeah, he said that this freshman has a big, strong leg.
I think they're missing someone. They're missing someone in the lineup. They got to hurry him out there. Clock is ticking. Special teams late to get out there.
Yeah, they got enough time, though. It's
they
10
do.
seconds.
Out of the hold of Joshua Hewitt. Daniel Kinney. Wow. And that's a leg right there.
I mean,
is that a leg or what? Oh, my goodness.
I guess we should trust him a little more often. They said that Odom really is a really good player. Should have believed him. They said that this young freshman kicker has a big leg. And boom, we should have believed him. Daniel Kinney with the great kick.
The pride of Bearden High School, Knoxville, Tennessee. (21-9) is our score as the Owls continue to chip away at the Hoosiers' lead here in Bloomington. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh R. Sims. Kurt Cignetti said this is a team that can play at warp speed. They can also slow you down, have some funky formations. Plus, they got some older guys with a lot of experience. They've assembled a bunch of new guys, but they do have a lot of experience. He's right about that. Here's Hemby on the return. And nimble footing there as he makes his way up to the 27. Let's go down to Josh Sims.
Well, Tim, Kurt Cignetti told me he was happy with the way the team started, especially on offense. Much better in the red zone so far this week. He said they did get a little sloppy towards the end of the half. He also admitted he should have taken the field goal instead of going for it on 4th down. Said he just got a little heated in the moment and maybe let his emotions get the best of him in that situation, Tim.
Yeah, you know what? That's one of those from a coaching standpoint. In the heat of the moment, but basically, what's that? He's saying I got a little arrogant too.
Yeah, and since that moment, it's been 9-7.
Yeah,
Kennesaw State is winning the game in that small pocket.
Yeah, it was a turning point, no doubt about it. And we touched on it at that very moment. Here's Hemby on the stretch play, and he stretched it out for big-time yardage. Garland Binyard, that is the twin of the other Binyard on the offensive side, a gain of 21.
It's just an outside zone. You're going to get the ball to your running back, and he's going to follow around and try to find a crease, right? So you stretch it, you stretch it, you stretch it, then you stick that foot in the ground and get vertical. Very nice job by Hemby, someone we haven't said his name a bunch because of the production of Lee Beebe Jr.
The Maryland transfer, Roman Hemby. Here he goes again, a good tackle again. We talked about that shoestring capability to make a play, and Five Hamilton, number 15, did it that time. The sophomore from Stockbridge, Georgia. 7 carries, 44 yards for Roman Hemby today. That's a good collection of defenders that Mark Mattioli is working with. You talk about an incredible road to becoming a defensive coordinator at the FBS level. He has had it. He is down on the field calling his defensive plays. On 2nd and 2, a little quick hitch out to Surratt. Just enough for the first down. Caleb Alford with the tackle.
So that's a first down completion, Tim, but you can see the defense starting to tighten and tighten. I'm pretty sure the Kennesaw State went into the halftime and said, listen, we cannot continue to allow these easy free access completions. And defensive coordinator Mattioli yesterday told us, hey, we have to make sure we're up in the face of these wide receivers. They gave some easy completions in the first half. You can see a lot tighter coverage there on that quick hitch.
Nice throw and drop right there. Might have been tipped by Stevens. I think Antonio Stevens tipped that to keep Surratt from bringing it in. At first glance, it looked like he may have just had the ball bounce off the numbers, but Surratt, I think, got a hand on that.
Antonio Stevens does such a nice job of getting underneath. You thought you would have it, and watch number 3 stretch out and just get his fingertips on it. And Surratt, with the change of trajectory and the carom, he cannot make the catch. Outstanding job as the hook curl defender for number 3, Antonio Stevens.
2nd and 10. Black. Well, that's just good, solid running. You'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. I mentioned Mattioli. Look at this resume, will you? Talk about a circuitous route. Paris Musketeers as head coach. That's right. Paris, France as a head coach. This was after he spent time in Italy as a head coach. And by the way, our friend and colleague from the Big Ten Network, Yogi Roth, is an investor in that franchise.
Yes.
I mean, that's an amazing story. And he quit the job without having one here in the States. Black, Kalon Black, down the sideline, inside the 10. I don't know that they had those running backs with the feet quite like that of Kalon Black. Alexander Ford saved the touchdown.
Another outside zone, and when you have these tight defenders, you want to get around, lead around, and try to secure the edge. When you can secure the edge, you can get outside. They secure it right away in a very nice run by Kalon Black.
Yeah.
They didn't have anybody like Kalon Black in Paris, I can tell you.
Out of the shotgun, Black again. Well, that's good read and reaction from Alford. He's played great in this game. Number 2 in the white, black, and gold of the Owls.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he's done well in coverage, but even in the run game, he's done a really nice job. That time he comes from the other side of the field to track down the running back and stop that play from getting in the end zone. And remember, this is a place where Indiana struggled a week ago. They did much better in the first half. Can they continue that success here in the second?
They get Himby in. Uh-oh, beautiful play fake right to Surratt for the touchdown. They caught them napping that time. The Owls were playing Himby, and formation did them in. And it's another touchdown for Surratt. 31st in his career.
This is a really nice design. He's going to go in and out. However, they're linked in man-to-man coverage. So he gets his right foot in the ground, and he comes back out with the run fake offered. Because he's done such a nice job in the run game, he keeps his eyes in the backfield. And Tim, if you're in man-to-man coverage and you look in the backfield, you're going to watch passes get completed on you.
That's right.
And that's a touchdown for Surratt.
Yep. That's really one of those examples. Alford has played well. He got schooled that time on a nice little double move by Surratt. Oh, just like the Sheik. Cheek to Sheik.
Leave those cares behind, Tim, because we are good times.
Oh, yeah. Go, JJ. Go, JJ. Got some push-ups, some up-downs taking place, an 8-play, 73-yard drive. A quick answer from Indiana. And Surratt on the receiving end of the touchdown. Air guitar, that's something our friend Larry, the cable guy, does a great job with. Can't wait to take you to Nebraska again to see our friend Dan Whitney, a.k.a. Larry, the cable guy. And for you, Devin, he would be Mater.
Thank you.
He would be Mater.
Yeah, I'm a cartoon guy. I don't know about cable and all that. I got YouTube TV, you know.
Blue-collar comedy is not something that you follow very much. I got it.
Yeah.
Let's get a quick game break, shall we? Mike Hill is in Los Angeles for an all-state game break.
Fellas, tough game for number 11 Illinois on the road against Duke. Illini up 8 here late when Duke's Darian Mensah finds Andrew Anthony in the end zone for the 5-yard score. Play review, but upheld, and right now it's 14-13 Illinois at the break. Tim and Devin.
This is not your grandma's Duke, by the way.
Oh, no.
They're very good.
Oh, yeah.
And Illinois, I think the game of probably the most under-anticipated that it could be an outstanding game in the Big Ten is Indiana-Illinois.
Yeah.
I think the winner of that game, potentially,
got a real shot.
Could be a shot at getting into the CFP again.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe even the 4th team out of the Big Ten to get into the college football playoff. Comes a little later in the year. Well, Amari Odom is sacked. Mikhail Kamara getting through there, the defensive end. He has a tackle for loss in 30 of 37 games. All Big Ten performers, second team all Sun Belt when he was at JMU. He's one of those JMU guys that's left. They still have a good number of them, not as many as they had a year ago. But the combination of the portal acquisitions and the foundation set by these James Madison guys that came over with Cignetti, still very much the makeup of the team. Odom lets it fly through the seam to Benyard. And boy, you can see right now why he has to be the number 1 target in this offense. He is dynamic.
I mean, incredible anticipation by the quarterback, who before that throw was 7 of 11 for 103 yards. He just continues to show poise and the ability to get the ball driven down the field and also not make the big mistake. That's the one thing you have to guard against with a young quarterback, making that big mistake, and he just hasn't done it.
I'll tell you what Haynes' defense has done today, though, Devin. Whenever they've had that big play, okay, that big play to get a first down, whenever they've decided to go quick after that, his guys have been lined up, and they've stopped them for like a 1 or 2 yard loss or a 1 or 2 yard gain. Similar to that right there. And that's kind of taken the air out from under what the speed game is supposed to be about for the Owls.
Yeah, certainly. You're supposed to try to catch them off guard after those big plays, and they just haven't been able to do it with this Indiana defense.
3rd down and 9 after the loss of 1.
All right, so Kennesaw State subbed, even though they don't usually do it. So now Indiana gets a chance to sub.
Okay, they're going to go with 5 wides and empty here.
Got 10 seconds left on the play clock. They got to move quickly. It's a light box. A quarterback draw, in my opinion, it should be alive.
Uh-oh, look out. That could be big. It's Ruvar. It is Lyndon Ruvar. And he fumbled it inside the 25. That's Sharp on top of it, Jamari Sharp. He stripped it. Let's see if they're going to rule him down, and it's still Kennesaw State's possession, or is it a fumble?
You can see him trying to get down the field. He starts to slow him down again. It's one of those. Oh no, I think that ball is clearly out. I think.
That's a steal. That's a straight out pilfer.
Yeah, there's no indication that the forward progress was stopped or that the referees thought that it was stopped. What an outstanding play made by Jamari Sharp after giving up a big completion.
I haven't seen a defender do that in a game since George Teague in 1992 did it to Lamar Thomas of Miami in the national title game.
Before the ball came loose. First down.
Yeah, they're gonna look at it.
They got to review this. Yeah.
I think it's fairly clear, and when they get a chance to review it, will be fairly quick. Right, he attaches here, but the forward progress isn't truly stopped, and there's the punch right there. That ball is out clearly. They go to battle for it, and Sharp wins the battle.
Now there.
After review, the ball came loose. The defense recovered. It is Indiana ball, first down at the 25-yard line.
That's a tough break for the young quarterback.
It really is. Chris Lemaines, though, the referee gets word from replay official Gary Delaney, and Jamari Sharp, I'm telling you, if you ever not, I know this was before your time, but I've never seen a play like that when the ball never hit the ground. He just literally took it, punched it out, a.k.a. Peanut Tillman-like, right? And then he grabbed the ball and recovered it on his own as he hit the ground.
Hey, Tim, I have no idea who you're talking about, but I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you.
Trust me. Lamar Thomas was a heck of a receiver
Peanut Tillman, but
you
know, the other guy, I'm not sure.
George Teague was a whale of a defender at Alabama. For brother Oliver and Gene Stallings when they won the national title. Coming the other way on the reverse, Omar Cooper. Look out. He stayed in bounds. Omar, 75 and a touchdown. That's 75 yards, partner, but I think he ran probably 120.
Wow.
When you consider the cuts that he had to make, right? From one sideline all the way to the other hash mark on the opposite side of the field.
I mean, what a sudden change opportunity for Indiana, and Omar Cooper Jr. makes them pay.
Talk about a 14-point swing potentially after that great completion Odom had. Cooper, 2 touches today, 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Started with the pilfer. Look at this by Sharp. I mean, that is grand larceny, ladies and gentlemen.
He stole it.
That's not just a steal, it's grand larceny. And then Coop takes it to the house. Hello, how do you do? 35-9, and let's take a look at a magnificent play here, Devin. After the kick, we'll do it as we have the opening kick after the touchdown. Cody Jones is awaiting. And it's going to go through for a touchback. So now we can get our long-awaited look at this magnificent play, and it was just that.
Yeah, but, you know, I want to give you the how and why. How about 8 receptions, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns? Surratt. Take a look at what he does. If he doesn't make this block and secure the edge, this play never gets going. It never gets started. When you have a reverse like this, you got to first get it started. He does that, and the rest is all Omar Cooper Jr. down the field for a touchdown.
You know, I thought he had slipped and maybe gassed a little bit for a second there after he slipped when he made that cut, but he had the afterburners on to get it into the end zone. That was a long haul. It was more than 75 yards, which statistically it'll stay at. Chase Belcher stopped again behind the line by Isaiah Jones.
And that's the 13th tackle for loss for this Indiana defense. They've done a nice job of living in the backfield of Kennesaw State. And Tim, you talked earlier about the empathy you felt for Dexter Williams. How about Amari Odom? He does everything right. He makes the appropriate throw. It's a conversion. It's going to be a big play. Maybe go down and score at least a field goal.
Yeah.
And the ball's taken away in a touchdown on the very next play.
And you could see how despondent he was after turning it over. That pass is caught by Christian Moss. He has been the most targeted and really most productive of the receivers in this afternoon's game. Kellen Wyatt making the tackle.
And Amari Odom was dejected, obviously, but take a look at him continue to play, continue to make throws, and he continues to hit his favorite target on the day, Christian Moss, who comes into today without a reception.
Well, nothing but good can come from this game, even in defeat for Kennesaw State. Let's face it, this is a big payday for them as a Conference USA school, playing in the Big Ten on the road. And if they can find their character offensively, they'll be all the better for it. As we say it, the pass is behind the receiver, and Lou Moore takes it out of the air for the pick.
Tim?
And the blitz is on.
We talked about it. I learned just something. Tips and overthrows. Say it with me. Tips and overthrows. Tips and overthrows. That's an overthrow. That's an interception for the Indiana defense. Take a look here. Odom has played great to this point, but it's an overthrow. Completely misses his wide receiver and into the awaiting arms of number 7 in red, Lewis Moore.
Yep. And by the way, Moore is the player that his eligibility is going to be in question after today's game. The NCAA clearinghouse, using really the Diego Pavia rule, trying to rule him ineligible after 2 games of the season. As a 5th-year player, the NCAA clearinghouse is saying you played a couple of years in junior college and it could cost you. He's the leader of this team in tackles, and that interception obviously was big. E.J. Williams on the receiving end of this. And these are the turns of events that come off of that fumble that led to that last score. I mean, you really feel for Ruvar here, but what a play that was defensively by Jamari Sharp.
Yeah, it just takes all the oxygen out of your football team. And if you're a young player, you made a mistake, you don't get to leave until I'm done, right? I need to make sure you understand the severity of what just happened, because as you can see, Indiana, the snowball starts to roll.
Yeah, you do. And Lee Beebe this time is tackled behind the line by Barron Hobson. Yeah, I know you marvel at this Jackson State transfer. He played in 4 games, 3 starts in 24 before injuries derailed him, but he was an incredible player at Jackson State back in 22. A young man that just plays the angles, is always where he needs to be. 3rd down and 7. Critical defensive sequence here for Kennesaw State to kind of hang around. Beebe sets sail again. Well, when they run to the wide side of the field, they're successful. Hobson again with a saving tackle, but a gain of 14.
Yeah, what you saw on film for Kennesaw State is they did well in between the tackles run defense. But then when you start to capture the edge, when you start to go on those outside zones, you see that they give up a lot of yardage, and you can see it again here. It's a draw, but then he attacks the outside. There's no edge protector, and he gets a nice amount of yards.
9 carries, 74 yards, averaging 8.2 per tote. Look at that! Touchdown, Surratt! Well, that was a coverage bust for Mark Mattioli's defense. No question about that. 3rd touchdown today for Elijah Surratt.
And Fernando Mendoza is really seeing every single picture clearly. He understands exactly what Kennesaw State is trying to do to him in the pass game, and he's taking advantage at every turn.
And after being really on a bit of a roll at the end of the first half, to start the second, cutting it to 12, now the blitz is on. Turnover here and there, and the home team starts piling it up. 35-point favorite, now up by 33.
Welcome back to Bloomington, where the lead has ballooned for Indiana to 33. But let's take a look at that last play. This post route should be dead, and this is just a testament to how well that Mendoza's seeing it. Now, you're going to see that the safety is supposed to be in the middle, but he sees that a player is moving into a different area, so he takes him, and now you've got Surratt, who's going to be able to run right past him for a touchdown. The play should have been dead. You shouldn't be able to throw a post with the middle safety, but because of what the safety did, Mendoza saw it and made the play.
Yeah, you had 3 defenders in one spot, and the middle was wide open. College football continues next on FS1. Middle Tennessee's going to be taking on Wisconsin. And by the way, our friend Spencer Tillman and company will be on hand. Look forward to hearing them. Then later it's Georgia Southern versus USC at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific, right here on FS1. What do you think? What do you think the chances are a trip to Naples 15 is in their future?
Love a little Naples 15.
Ooh,
man.
boy, one of the great Italian restaurants you'll find at Camp Randall.
A lot of singing in there,
yeah,
too.
Indeed. Chase Belcher stopped in his tracks again. Eric Collins and Spencer Tillman will have that game for you as soon as we're done. Lewis Moore again in there to make the stop on Belcher, and another tackle for loss. That's 14 and counting now for the Hoosiers defense of Coach Brian Haynes.
Yeah, I don't think the audience knows how good of a singer you are when you're in those Italian restaurants, you know.
There's a little rat pack inside yours truly.
Man.
Yeah. Chase Belcher remains the setback for Amari Odom, who's gone all the way since the 3rd offensive series of the afternoon.
Yeah. He's been exceptional, and if you're Kennesaw State, I understand staying with the run game and believing in it, but this is not the time, right? You got to try to chip away at this lead if you have any chance of trying to make it close.
That old saying, even in blowouts, right? 2 or 3 plays will tilt a game one way or the other.
Well, with that fake clap, you understand what the coverage is trying to do to you, so you're going to get clear coverage at the top, man to man. You got an isolated wide receiver, and that's usually where you want to go in this type of coverage, but Indiana changes it.
Backside pressure. Oh, look at Odom spin out of that. Spin, baby, spin. And now he just has to unload it. Incomplete.
What a nice job by Bryant Haynes, the defensive coordinator for Indiana. Young quarterback gives a fake clap, they show the coverage, and then they change it at the snap. And when they change it, Odom doesn't know where he wants to go with the football. He does a nice job of eliminating a sack and trying to get outside and make a play and doing the smart thing, throwing it away. Great job by all parties involved, both Indiana and Kennesaw State.
Hosea Wheeler, the defensive tackle that played more of an in position that time, with a smooth move, right? Coming from the outside in with his bull rush. And Hewitt gets the way the punt under some pressure. Brady back deep, calls for the fair catch, and he'll just let it roll after a relatively short punt. And let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, guys, Curt Cignetti is a guy that's all about efficiency when it comes to practices during the week. Don't expect those practices to be 2 hours. He wants to get in, get out, get his work done. Cignetti comes in early so the staff doesn't have to, and he doesn't expect his staff to stay late. They get the work done, they go home. All about efficiency. Devin, how would you like that? No 2-hour practices. Get it done early.
I mean, Josh, I'm just telling you. I would do the extra work, right? I would get on my iPad and watch film. However, not having to be on my feet and run around and practice sweating, stinking, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, like a producer that doesn't want to rehearse. It's Nirvana.
Oh, no, Tim. You know I got to rehearse. I got to rehearse as Mendoza tries to get on the outside with pressure and throws the ball away.
He just gets
like
rid
he
of it. It'll be 2nd and 10. Garland Benyard was coming in with the pressure from the Will linebacking spot. And the brother of Gabriel, who's a sack master. Both of these guys have been stalwart performers in their careers. Roman Hemby is the setback. 3 wides against a 4-man front on 2nd and 10.
Even though Indiana is up, don't expect them to take advantage of these low safeties.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Hemby. Yeah, that's a first down and then some. Inside the 45 to the 43-yard line of Kennesaw State.
Think about it. Roman Hemby is fairly fresh. Remember that that first half, he didn't really do a bunch. And he's getting out there and getting to the second level and making those low safeties miss, creating explosive plays.
It's an outstanding committee of backs. I mean, it really is. Mendoza with all kinds of time. Dumps it to Hemby underneath. Look at this. Like a pinball bouncing off defender after defender.
You love to see the chess match, right? We talked about those low safeties. Well, on that play, Kennesaw State backs them up, but a play was called to try to get behind them. Well, it's not there. So what do you do if you're Fernando Mendoza? You find the running back, and he does a nice job there, and it's another big game for Roman Hemby. Outstanding job of just moving over to your right just a little bit, getting a nice throw to Hemby, and Hemby does the rest.
Hemby now his 28th straight game as Wandarian Silas is down on the field.
Yeah, he's a defender to try to tackle Hemby and kind of was shed off. I mean, Hemby's a big guy, right? 6 foot, 210 pounds, and he runs with great force and great power, even from his freshman year at Maryland.
Hemby is adding to his tote board. 28 consecutive games, by the way, with a catch for that running back.
Yeah, you can see right now he's coming in the screen, trying to make a hit on Hemby. He kind of shrugs him off. And remember, we covered a running back last season that they said it was like a BB hitting a tank when defenders would run into him. Not saying that Hemby is quite that just yet.
Not quite Ashton Genty.
Not quite. But that's exactly what it looked like all season last year. good to see him off and walking off the field on his own power.
I had to chuckle at Kurt Cignetti. Okay, kid's hurt. Let's get him off the field. We need to go. Oh, that's a Pittsburgh guy if I ever saw one. Yep. I remember I got stories to tell you about coaches in those situations. We got tempo going here. Let's go. Kalon Black in the game. The old man in black, Jerry Glanville, used to be that way. With injured player, close to the sidelines. Okay, we're concerned about him. We're going to check him. Let's get him off the tarmac. We got another airplane to fly. Oh, boy. Defense has been the order of the day. Talk about a pickpocket act. You could do a lot of time for that kind of steal, Indiana or otherwise. The score by quarters really, in a lot of ways, Devin, not indicative of the competitive nature of the second half. At the red zone offense, though, that tells you the story.
100%.
Today, they're 5 of 5, and you add to that the unfortunate turnovers and the ability to make them pay with those turnovers. Indiana has taken command of this game. And right over the middle for the touchdown to Charlie Baker. Charlie Becker on the receiving end, the sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee. That was too easy.
You got a flag down.
Yeah, we do have a marker down, so we'll have to check it. Hold everything.
Pass interference, offense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, second down.
Did we get a rub here? I believe we may have.
A little bit of an illegal rub.
Yeah, LeBron Bond. Number 6, the freshman from Norfolk. You got to play through.
It's a well-designed play, and this is he's blocking. It's an RPO, and he thinks it's a run play, and it's so minimal. Yeah. Such a minimal touch. However, by the letter of the law, it technically is pass interference because that is now a pass play because he didn't hand it off. Cignetti's trying to figure out what did you do? When he sees it, I'm sure he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, he'll know it was a little ticky-tack.
Yeah.
2nd and 22 for Mendoza. And there's Holden Stays, another one of those tight ends. Senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. Another bit of a difference maker in 24 at Tennessee. He had 15 catches for 131 yards. Another one of those guys that you pick up in the portal and you make a stand with.
I really like that call by offensive coordinator Mike Shanahan to get back toward the original line of scrimmage to give yourself a chance to pick up a first down or maybe even get a touchdown. A nice call, a screen to pick up some of those yardages that you lost.
Now, he's got to be pleased with not only the way the game has been called, but executed by his quarterback, Mendoza, on a fade route towards the corner. A lot of contact, and the flag comes down. E.J. Williams working against Jericho Washington. And it would appear that number 1 is going to get tagged here.
And he was on top of the wide receiver, so he didn't really need to be so handsy.
Pass interference, defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, he's a pretty effective corner to be so slight of size as he is.
Yeah, you can see he's on top of the wide receiver, but he just gets his hands all over him. Just stay in phase and keep your hands off, and you actually might have an opportunity at an interception. I don't love the call, honestly, because they're both touching each other, but, you know, the referee saw it differently.
I don't think Coach Mack does either. Himby checks back in on 1st and goal. Trying the left side. I tell you, that's a physical group up there.
Yeah.
Aaron Hobson helping out, but that forward wall has been stout today. I'm impressed with Daniels, Watkins, Patterson, and Dunlap.
And remember what I talked about, Tim. The inside running game hasn't been as productive as that outside running game. Those inside guys you just named, very stout. They understand leverage. But on the outside, they just aren't able to have the athletic ability to run those plays down, and Indiana has had great success.
Yeah, they've not been able to set the edge, have they?
No.
MB remains the setback out of the shotgun. Mendoza's pass is caught. This time, EJ for the payday. Touchdown, Williams.
Mendoza knows where to have his feet and where to have his eyes. He's locating the flat defender. He sees him vacate, and he drives the football perfectly on the face mask of his wide receiver, E.J. Williams Jr.
Now, the Clemson transfer has been very effective today. His most productive season came in his freshman year there. A consensus 4-star recruit and somebody that can make some really big plays for Indiana if they are to contend in the Big Ten. 4th touchdown of the game. 4th game ever for Mendoza to have that many in one outing. (49-9) our score, 13 and change remaining here in the quarter.
Look out, Tim. Hot dog coming.
Put some mustard on that puppy.
There's been a lot of mustard on these footballs for Fernando Mendoza. He's been exceptional all day today.
No question. Guessing we might be getting close to closing the book on him. Today's Good Hands moment, sponsored by Allstate, celebrating 20 years of the Allstate Good Hands Nets program. Jamari Clark, look at this. Jamari Sharp, redshirt junior from Miami. Oh, by the way, with a pilfer, just as a Miami receiver was on the receiving end of one way back in '92. That was just an incredible play. And it was really a 14-point swing after that to put this game away as Ruvar lost the football to him. And change is being made. Tommy Lutowski is coming at quarterback. So this is going to be our 3rd QB of the game. Gerard Bullock grabbed that one. And they'll set the ball now at the 27-yard line.
And I like this move for head coach Jerry Mack, because you've seen all you need to see from Amari Odom. No need to risk him getting hurt or you know, losing confidence because he throws an extra interception.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Things like that. I think that he's proven that he is capable of running this offense, and so now you want to get out of here healthy.
Belcher pops this one. Gets into the secondary quickly and made some great moves. Kellen Wyatt finally running him down to make the stop. You know, once you get this game out of the way, the non-conference loss. The Wake Forest game is history, but that's one that really could have and probably should have been won. And but then you get to, you know, your Conference USA schedule, and you want to remain healthy. You collect your check, guaranteed income from playing this game, and you don't want to lose anyone, with the hopes that you can compete for the opportunity to win your league, or at least contend in your league to get to a bowl game. Chase Belcher remains the setback for Ulatowski. Gets that one. That was going to be a back shoulder throw, but he rushed it just a bit. It falls incomplete, intended for Cody Jones, number 12. 2nd down and 10 coming up. There's a part of me, though, partner, I have to mention it, that really does feel that empathy for Dexter Williams. The fact that he's not getting any playing time now. Granted, it is mop-up time to some extent. But I just wonder what may be going through his mind right now.
I mean, if he's a great teammate, he has to support
Amari
Odom and what he was able to do. I mean,
that's all I saw on the sidelines, by the way, was a good teammate.
Of course. And this is a 40-point game. I can just tell you, it's not because of Amari Odom. Right? He had him in position a number of times.
He did.
He did everything he could. And so now they get to go back to the drawing board and try to build around this young quarterback who showed great promise. And I'm just telling you, from what I've learned, a former teammate of our colleague, Jack Tuttle, Dexter Williams II will be a great teammate and be ready if his number is called again in the future.
Well, and you touched on it at the outset of our broadcast today. He has a lot of talent, but it's either been really good or really bad. No in between. Belcher. A little crossbuck action that time. Kellen Wyatt again with a tackle. He's been very active today. We get into Big Ten play. We touched on that Louis Moore story and his eligibility. Strong safety who leads this team in tackles. That's going to be big, I think, moving forward. And if I'm Indiana as a program, I do everything in my power to see to it that Louis Moore gets to continue to play. It's one of those rare NCAA rules. I don't know how a player can be eligible for 2 games and then not eligible for the rest of the year. You allow a player to start a season, but you're going to say, oh, but you're done now.
That just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. And history will prove that if you do your best to support the player and you take it to the next level.
Take it there.
Take it there, because if it gets to court, the NCAA's record is not very good.
Yeah.
It's not. There's Dexter. You can see he's still being a good teammate, talking to Ulatowski over there.
Yeah.
And Odom as well.
That's what you want to see, man. I mean, obviously, we don't think he got enough of an opportunity. However, his team was led by a young quarterback who played well, and they have a great relationship. You can't be sour about it because you didn't get your opportunity. That's why this is the greatest team game, and there aren't many other arenas where a guy takes your job and you still are able to support him the way you can and the way that Dexter Williams is.
It's one of the reasons why we love it so much. And from a broadcasting standpoint, can't do it without the team. Jonathan Brady waits for this kick. That was well done by Hewitt. End over end and landed like a Mac Daddy from Callaway there. That would have been very close to the pin if you were trying to get a birdie, like my buddy Brett Bender oftentimes did while golfing at Arizona State and KU. Timeout, 49-9. Fernando's got a brother, Alberto, that made it over to Indiana as well. He's a freshman phenom. We saw him before the game down on the field. It was really cool to see the two of them throwing it. It was almost like a cloning. They look so similar out there.
Yeah, when I saw him in the weight room, I said, are you Mendoza? You know, I do my lift.
Yeah.
I said, are you Mendoza? He's like, well, I'm
Kinda.
a Mendoza. Not the Mendoza you may be thinking about, but I'm working hard every day, and I hope that I can learn from my brother. It's been really cool having him. Our parents don't have to go to 2 separate arenas. I can learn from my brother, and then hopefully I can be the quarterback here one day.
By the way, talking to Kurt Cignetti is so refreshing when discussing the quarterback position historically for him as a head coach. Here's BB taking the handoff from Fernando. But it seems that no matter what the questions are, at the end of whatever season when he has the new quarterback, they're the player of the year.
Yeah, this isn't the first time there were skeptics after a first game for quarterbacks, right? Let's go through the list. NFL for Ben DiNucci, right? Everybody remembers that name. And Ben DiNucci's a free agent right now, but he's been in the NFL. Cole Johnson, All-American. Todd Centeio, Player of the Year. Jordan McLeod, Player of the Year. And Curtis Rourke, the latest NFL invite to the Combine. And with the 49ers currently, now Mendoza clearly showing that he understands, and you can see it on full display right there.
Charlie Becker on the receiving end up to the 45-yard line.
I mean, just beautiful movement in the pocket to get a better view and then layering the ball up and down. Remember that second point on what the tape said for me. Even though in the first game he didn't look like he quite understood everything about the offense, when he did, he throws a really catchable football, and it's on display again right there.
18 of 25 for 246 and 4 touchdowns now for Mendoza. Lee Beebe. Oh, talk about escapability. My goodness. The old spin, baby, spin coming into play on this run.
Hey, you can see him getting downhill, and then he puts both feet down and whoop, whoop, reverse. Gets around and picks up a few more yards. I mean, BB, like I talked about earlier in the game, since the fumble a week ago, has been exceptional, and they're really leaning into his ability.
Not bad for an original walk-on wide receiver at UAB,
now,
huh?
tell me about it.
Man, 95 yards for him this afternoon. Mendoza buying some time and now decides to tuck it and run. Good idea. Cignetti not happy with that late tackle. Flag comes down. And by the way, that's one of the reasons I'm a little surprised that Fernando's still in there.
Similar to Kennesaw State. They want to get out healthy. For Indiana, you want to get out here unscathed.
Yes, we are. Late hit. Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So Alexander Ford, who's been playing catch-up a lot, trying to make some tackles. You know, I think a lot of guys, when they're at that side of the field, maybe they don't know exactly where they are. But you know what? He should have known. And, oh, by the way, look who's come into the game after that play. You'd think that Kurt Signetti was listening to us.
A spitting image of the guy you just saw who played so well, Alberto Mendoza. Like I talked about, the conversation with him while I'm getting my workout in, and he walks in, and I'm thinking he's the starting Mendoza.
Right.
He said, well, you know, not quite, but I am looking forward to one day getting a chance to be the starting quarterback, and he gets an opportunity to play today. His parents are here, and how cool is that, right? And he said it's been amazing. He gets to learn from his older brother who came to his school, right? And if he continues to work hard, he may have an opportunity. Just an outstanding story. Yeah. And I'm sure the parents are in the stands right now just glowing with joy.
By the way, the last time he actually played in a game was a year ago on this very date.
Wow.
Okay. Against Western Illinois. Black down to the 5. 5 Hamilton making the stop.
We're down on the field watching the younger Mendoza Alberto throw. He's got some juice, Tim.
He does.
And I noticed it in pat and go, right, which is just a kind of a little warm-up as we take a look at Black make a move. He gets into the line of scrimmage, presses the hole, and then sticks that foot in the ground and just continues to go straight for a nice game. But I saw it in the pat and go, right, which is just a little lofting warm-up throws, but it looked nice. And then I turned away, and Jack Tuttle said, oh, listen, he threw routes on there. He's got a cannon.
Good penetration that time by Mylan Jones, number 29. Safety coming up, senior out of Marietta, Georgia.
And so, Tim, we know he can throw it, but can he run it like his brother? Right now, we're obviously, Fernando Mendoza is not breaking the bank, but he makes plays when he has the opportunity with his legs. Does Alberto Mendoza have that same ability?
Yeah,
maybe we'll see it here.
Yeah, we could. Second and goal with Black remaining in the game. They got trips now to the top of your screen. Sort of mini teacup formation. And they go the opposite way for the touchdown to Becker. What a great call by Mike Shanahan and a tremendous throw. Did you call that a pat and go?
No.
Oh, pat and go. I mean, he did pat it once, but that was perfectly placed.
Maybe we could use pat and go for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
look at that.
I just talked about how good of a thrower he looked like on the field, but now he puts it on full display.
Oh, man.
Perfectly placed ball, nice and high on the fade route, and way to sky up by Charlie Becker, number 80 in red for the touchdown. I'm sorry, Tim. Indiana fans will be mad at me. Yeah. That's crimson.
Cream and crimson, baby.
I'm sorry.
Cream and crimson. Oh, by the way, we may have to redefine in sports the Mendoza line. Okay? Yeah. There's an all-new Mendoza line in college football. Whether it's Alberto,
they'll be there.
Or Fernando, you look marvelous.
They'll
Fernando,
always be around.
Lamas Mendoza. Yeah. 56-9 is our score, and we mentioned this earlier. If you got ready for this game the way we did, partner, no way would I have thought that it would balloon into something quite like this. But the college game is still an emotional game.
Yeah.
A game played with passion. And I go back to that play when the pilfer took place. That's when it all really ended, when you think about it. When Sharp made that play, Jamari Sharp made that play, and we got a flag down on the kick. And Ruvar lost the ball. They were possibly going to go in.
Number 15. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
We'll get back to that in a moment. Let's go down to Josh Sims, a little Sims spotlight.
Well, that's right, Timmy B. Each week we highlight a cool tradition at the campuses we go to in the Sims Spotlight. This week we highlight the Hep Rock. You see it right there, a large boulder right outside Memorial Stadium. The players touch it for good luck on the way in. It honors former IU coach Terry Hepner, who passed away tragically in 2007 after a couple of years coaching the team. And shout out to our boy Jack Tuttle, giving me all the info on the Hep Rock there.
Yeah, you know, they moved the Hep Rock. It used to be inside the stadium as you came out of the tunnel. That's where it once was, and now they moved it outside since Curt Cignetti got here. And by the way, I touched on Bill Mallory earlier, the great Lee Corso, who got the first ever bowl victory for Indiana back in 1979. John Pont took Indiana to a Rose Bowl in 1967. Mallory was incredibly successful at Indiana, but for years it's always been hit and miss. Sustained success has always been difficult here. My question moving forward for Cignetti, particularly in this era of college football where he's really cashing in on the portal and bringing those James Madison kids in, as you see that quick curl caught out past the 41-yard line. If you think about where these guys are, he's got a chance to have some sustained success here, but from an administrative standpoint, will they invest in this football program to the extent that we've seen in some other places?
Yeah, and through the years, there hasn't been a lot of sustained success. And here's a graphic that, you know, myself and Josh Franz found. Take a look.
Yeah.
Right, James Sheldon, 8-1-1, good season. 4 of the next 8 under 500. John Pont, 9-2. 4 of the next 5 under 500.
Yep.
And then the most recent Tom Allen, 8-5 in 2019, and then 3 of the next 4 under 500.
Correct.
The question remains, can Curt Cignetti continue to build and continue to sustain this great success that they had a season ago?
Yeah, and just from a purely facilities point of view, and the interior of the stadium and the location of where the indoor facility is and the weight room is located, they have some suites in the end zone. They've got that, but as we witnessed in Kansas, not just a couple of weeks ago, an investment into updating the stadium, I think, is the next. That's the next plateau,
of course,
for the program itself. And they're going to punt it away with Jonathan Brady back deep. Takes the fair catch at the 17-yard line. I mean, if you think about it, the donors are very much a part of it. You got to pay players now. We understand that investment that has to be made. It's a different era in college football, yes. But the combination of what you get from your donors on top of the revenues cashed in from television rights, that's more plentiful in the Big Ten than in any other conference. That's where you expect to see those improvements moving forward.
And talking about improvement, how about the improvement of the offensive line in the run game today?
Absolutely.
Like, obviously, the 300 yards a week ago was good, but it was almost in spite of the inability to create movement. And it starts with Pat Coogan. His story and his resolve was so cool to hear about yesterday. Obviously, the story's clear. He was a starting center in the national championship game a year ago. And how does he end up at Indiana? Well, it's a kind of tumultuous kind of journey that he had. And any guy could crumble under that pressure.
You said it.
He said his dad, Mike Coogan, was huge in making sure he stayed strong and continued to be a great teammate. He said, "You'll be a huge part of this team, and our family is built on fight." Coogan's fight. He continued to fight, got another opportunity at Notre Dame. And I'm just telling you, Tim, his dad wasn't happy because he grew up a Notre Dame fan. But the story, amazing, his resolve, and he's come to Indiana and brought that kind of championship-like pedigree, and it could put Indiana over the top as they continue to sustain that success.
Yeah, his dad owns an American gastropub in the south side of Chicago called Franklin's Public House. It's a cool place. And like so many Chicagoans, Irish Catholics, all in on Notre Dame. That hasn't changed at all. And he said the best thing that could have ever happened to him now is to come here to Indiana. You have to make that change and go through a reinvention of one's self, which he has. Kobe Martin running right into the linebacker, Taiwan Christopher, 46, the redshirt freshman from Thomasville, Georgia.
Got a player down on the field.
Yep. That looks to be number 58, Mike Jones. graduate player out of Rome, Georgia, down on the field.
And Tim, all the adversity that Coogan, as a grown-up now in the program, he said it's the best thing that's ever happened to him. Young players may not be able to understand that. However, football is the greatest teacher of life. And a lot of times in today's college football, you're losing that ability to deal with adversity, right? Because at most times it's like, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
I don't like the way I'm being treated. And so you don't ever get a real chance to battle the way that he did. Well, he got a chance to. He's the starting center. The next season they say, you know what, you're not going to start.
Right.
And he's a great teammate. It takes a lot out of him to be a great teammate while his coaches are basically telling him, we don't want you anymore. He stays together. He stays with the team. He goes and plays well to be the center for the national championship. They don't win it. However, the experience that he gained is one that most players in today's college football just will not be able to experience.
You're right. Absolutely.
He's going to be a much better man because of what he experienced. Obviously a great football player as well.
Yeah, we hear so often now about players, you got to re-recruit them. You got to do all of that. Yeah, well, that's true, but it also works the other way, too. Coaches can sometimes find a replacement for you, and in so doing, they tell you your job has been lost, so you better find greener pastures. And that happened to the kid, Malik Murphy, who was a backup quarterback at Texas when Quinn Ewers got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
You know, not Arch Manning. It was Murphy. He goes to Duke, has a good year.
Yep, the best year in Duke quarterback history.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, he got replaced. He got replaced. And the good news is Jones is up. Looks like he's going to get some assistance to the field, to the sidelines. And maybe we'll put a little bit of weight on that knee. Notable games for Indiana. This is a big one. Illinois in 2 weeks. I'm telling you, winner of that game is in position. Iowa the following week. Then to Eugene in November, a trip to State College to take on Penn State.
I don't think anybody's going to be able to say that in-conference schedule was easy for Indiana this year.
No, it's not. And I think the Illinois factor, okay, that game is huge. And as for the non-conference conversation, let's temper some of that noise coming from my part of the country. They played 9 conference games
where's your
in
part
this
of the
league.
country? We want to be clear. I know everybody knows where Timmy B is, but where's the part of the country?
I worked hard to get rid of my South in the mouth, but I love the South.
All
okay?
right.
I worked hard to get rid of it.
All right, now go on.
But the reality is, they're going to go to 9 in the SEC. Greg Sankey did get the memo. They're finally going to go play 9 games beginning next year. But that being said, I don't want to hear it now. When you're playing FCS teams in November, SEC, shut it up now.
And that's the 2-minute timeout, Tim.
And it's a good thing. You got me on a roll here. Coming up after the game, it's College Football Extra, sponsored by Amazon. Mike Hill, Coach Peterson, Bruce Feldman back in our Los Angeles studios will guide you through what's been going on elsewhere. That Iowa State game is coming down to the wire. Just a couple of minutes left with Iowa State tied. Cyclones with the ball in Iowa territory. I'm telling you, this is a big day. Anytime you've got as many matchups as we have that many people think are ho-hum, that's when upsets take place. There's a quick pitch going to the wide side of the field. Indiana using everybody now. Solomon Van Horst, the graduate student, gets it out for a nice game. And the clock continues to run. I do want to say thank you to the fine folks at Kennesaw State. Both coordinators, Mattiola and Militello, along with Coach Jerry Mack. I think that the future is indeed bright for this program in Conference USA moving forward. Very nice of them to make themselves as available to us as they did late yesterday. Kobe Martin remains in the backfield, and Alberto threads the needle again. And that one is cradled at the 45-yard line. Jackson Wasserstrom on the receiving end this time.
I mean, Tim, just smooth as silk.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know I question, hey, does he have the legs like his older brother? Well, that's of no consequence because that arm is alive and well.
Yeah. That it is.
And I couldn't imagine being on the sideline after playing so well and then seeing your little brother who you grew up with and who actually has your face on the field making plays just like you did all day.
By the way, enjoyed it, my friend. Next week, we get to go to Lubbock.
Oh, yeah.
We get to see Texas Tech. I can't wait to see some of the changes they've made. Talk about a spending spree.
Yeah.
They've had one, and they got a quality team in the Big 12. That's a team I think it's going to be around at the end of the season for Joey McGuire to be a part of that Big 12 race, along with Arizona State, Iowa State, so many other teams in that very balanced league. Jack Tuttle did a great job for us, former Indiana and Michigan quarterback, working alongside Devin. My guys, Brett Bender spotting, Scott Alexander with our content coordination, Michael Barshop, our broadcast manager on site here, with Jake Jolivet and Dustin Dente calling the shots. 56-9 is our final. That'll do it for us, and we're going to get you back to the studio in Los Angeles, where Sarge is standing by to take us through College Football Extra. Fellas, we enjoyed it here from Bloomington to you in LA.
All right, Timmy B, another Big Ten team getting ready to go. Danny O'Neal, who filled in for the injured Billy Edwards Jr. last week, getting ready to go. The transfer from San Diego State filled in nicely, trying to do the same as Wisconsin, trying to go to 2-0 on the season against Middle Tennessee State next year on the FS1. So we welcome you to the FS1 College Football Extra, sponsored by Amazon. Everything for every fan on Amazon, and we are everybody's here right now. Coach Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman, Mike Hill hanging out with you. Indiana getting off to a 2-0 start, their first back-to-back 2-0 start.